meron na ba balita?
Anak, sabihin mo kung ano ang nilalaman ng puso mo.
Thank you, Tay!
Tay, naaalala mo ba nung niregaluhan mo ko ng mikropono? Ang sabi mo sa akin, susuportahan mo ko kahit anong gusto ko. Ang lagi mo pang ang bilin, anak, sundin mo kung anong nilalaman ng puso mo.
Ganda talaga.
Lagi mo ring pinapaalala na ako ang pinakamaganda. Mas maganda pa sa mga crush mong artista sa TV. Alam mo ba, Tay? Pinaniwalaan ko yun.
Ako, si Pam Villanueva, nagbabalita.
Hindi mo naman kasi sinabing mahilig ka sa mga palabas na comedy. Yan tuloy. Umasa ako masyado. Hindi ko inakalang iba pala ang pamantayan ng mundo. Hindi ko napaghandaan ang sakit ng mga salita mula sa tao. Ganun pa man, hindi ko kinalimutan ang bilin mo. Tay, ngayong araw, maglalakas loob ulit akong sundin ang laman ng puso ko. Ngayong araw, tutuparin ko ang pangarap nating dalawa. Handa na akong yakapin ng pagkakataong ito. Ano man ang sabihin ng iba.
Good morning, everyone. It's going to be a long and hard journey. There will be a lot of sweat and a lot of tears. I expect a lot from you, but in the end, when you become teacher broadcasters, it'll all be worth it. Are you ready? Yes! Your task at hand is to deliver your lines straight at the camera lens.
Greetings, bright minds! I hope you're having an amazing day. It's me, your English learning buddy.
Good job, DJ. Okay, next. Any volunteers? May nagtatago doon. Teacher Pam. Teacher Pam, I can see you.
Sa pagkakataong ito, babaliin ko ang pamantayan ng mundo.
Magandang wika at maalab na panitikan sa ating lahat, grade 10. Narito kayo ngayon sa classroom ni Miss Pam. Ang mamatanong na kahit sa camera laging umaanggulo, maniwala ka, sasamahan kitang mag-enjoy at matuto. Tatandaan, sa panitikang Filipino, abot kamay mo ang mundo.
Alright!
Haharap ako sa kamera upang magturo, upang hindi lamang makulong ang mga aral sa 4 na sulok ng silid-aralan, upang mas maraming bata ang makaalam na ang mga pangarap ay binuo upang matupad.
Okay, teachers, dito nagwawakas ang ating workshop, pero hindi ang inyong training. Bye-bye!
Haharap ako sa kamera upang magturo, para mas maraming bata ang makaalam na kahit matagal ang proseso ng pangarap, ang mahalagay umuusad. Tay, naaalala mo ba nung niregaluhan mo ko ng mikropono? Hindi ko to nagamit kanina. Pero, nagamit ko lahat ng paalala mo. Hindi na rin pala ako naniniwalang kasing ganda ko ng mga crush mong artista. Pero, mapapanood mo na ako sa TV para sa mas malalim pang advokasya.
Hello po! Good afternoon mga teachers. Nakakain na po ba kayo? Yes, and that's why bumalik po kami ng mas maaga para po magawa po natin yung mga dumadagsang mga shoutouts, Teacher May, no? So simulan na natin, Teacher May, ang ating mga pa-shoutout para ngayong araw na ito. We would like to greet SDO Gapan City, Gapan North District Mahipon Teaching Course from Ma'am Cynthia M. Bangon, Julio Ledesma National High School, Negros Oriental, from MAPEN AP Department from Teacher 7.
Cacahuate National High School po, hello po teachers from SDO San Jose del Monte, and hello din po sa kanilang OICPSTS Ma'am Lourdes Robes of SDO San Jose del Monte City. Pwede din po hello po kay Ma'am Camille Gomez Cabahi of Camp King Elementary School, Division of Cabaratuan City. Hello po sa mga teachers ng Yondol Elementary School, District 5, Ormoc City Division, Region 8.
Also, Lananting National High School, Division of Urdaneta City, headed by Dr. Alexander Pataksil and PSDS Dr. Julieta Ner. And also, happy birthday kay Ma'am Ami Beltran Belista of San Jose National High School of SDO Albay, Als Tubahon District of SDO Dinagat Island, and Fly High Senior of Upper Bicutan National High School of SDO Tapat, Heidi Cruz, CJ Cabeo, Teacher Karina, Teacher Jenna, Teacher Shaira, Ma'am Ana Rose Reyes, and Senior High Head Ma'am Joanna, and Principal Dr. Delphine Hernandez Jr.
Hello po sa mga teachers from Beatriz D. Dorada Memorial National High School from Danao City Division and their school head po, Sir Mark H. Sierras. Hello din po sa mga teachers at Pagadian City Private School, teachers from Andres Gumban Memorial National High School with their principal po, Sir Gualberto C. Layage from SDO Negros Occidental District of Toboso.
Yes, also sa General Luna Quezon Principal, Susan J. Maanyo, Willie B. Wenceslao Memorial National High School, Teacher Mylen, Teacher Marlene, Teacher Marge, Teacher Jobet, Teacher Akit, and Teacher Warren, and hi po kay Sir Reden Salonga, Deputy Personnel and Teachers of La Union, SEO headed by Attorney Donato D. Valderas Jr. from the ICT Coordinators of Balawan Cluster. Also, Tapal Elementary School, Carcar City Division, headed by Baronessa G. Varga, and this one is from Ma'am Cheryl Ann Del Castillo.
Yes, correction po, no, SDO Negros Occidental District of Tobogo. And hello po sa mga teachers from Gitoo National Vocational High School, faculty po nila and staff head, led by Mrs. Flor Denisa Gabotero. Hello din po sa nag-birthday today. Happy birthday po to Kupang Elementary School May teachers, Ma'am Rosel and Ma'am Nisel. Happy birthday po. Greetings po yan from Ma'am Early.
Yes, also shout out din po sa lahat po na nanonood sa Region 2. That is the greeting po ay coming from one of our edtech specialists, si Ma'am Lens. Then also JCP Elementary School teachers, Ma'am Loida, Ma'am Chris, Ma'am Lani Bautista, Sir Kiergy, Sir MJ, headed by SDS Dr. Gemma De Torres and Dr. Lea Aquino. Ma'am Arian Garcia of Tangos Elementary School.
Hello!
Ma'am Arian, hello po. Ayan.
Hello,
Then, SDO Las Piñas, EPS SGOD Dr. Joey Balzomo, hello po sir. Then Caloocan North Elementary School, North 1 District, SDO Caloocan City, Principal Dr. Carmenia C. Abel from Sir Eric D. Casanyas, and Parañaque Elementary School Central with their Principal Dr. Rosendo Abulo.
Hello po sa mga teachers from Monte Alegre National High School headed by Mr. Bagami Ilanat, Tuburan 1 District, Cebu Province Division. Hello din po sa lahat ng teaching and non-teaching staff of Talon-Talon National High School, Zamboanga City, headed by Dr. Maria Teresa D. Borgonia, Principal 4. Hello din po sa mga teachers from Martin Esperanza Elementary School of Laurel District, SDO Batangas. Hello po sa mga naggagandahang teachers ng Ananias Laico Memorial Elementary School, Magdalena District, SDO Laguna. School Principal Ma'am Severa Bersola, District Supervisor Dr. Emily Oxon. Greetings po yan from Ma'am Arlene Montemor, Master Teacher 1 of Ananias Laico Memorial Elementary School.
Yes, shout out din po sa lahat ng ICT cohorts ng Tuguegarao City. Also sa Ginsay National High School, DepEd Danao City Division, Cebu. Ma'am Norilyn C. Narciso and teachers of Noveleta National High School, Santo Cristo Elementary School from SDO Quezon City, from Ma'am Francis Christy Ponasher, also San Antonio Elementary School, kay Ma'am Christine Sanorin from PGCHS, from Ma'am Hishe Sakido, and Decabaitot Elementary School, Dinapacan District, SDO Palawan.
Yes, so pinakabati ko ng Shane Andres Reyes, si Ma'am Cecilia R. Espina, and to Lucinian family from Santa Lucia National High School, Asturias North District, Division of Cebu Province. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng San Marcelino Elementary School, San Marcelino, Zambales, teaching and non-teaching staff po nila. Hello po sa principal po nila, Principal for Sir Tristan J. Figueras, sa kanyang PSDS, Dr. Melita Conzalan. And meron pa rin po, no, hello po sa PSDS ng San Leonardo Annex, SDO Nueva Ecija, na si Ma'am Marisa G. Gamboa at ang teaching force ng Mambangan Elementary Annex, SSES, headed by our TIC Ma'am Camille S. Ostares.
Also, shout out din po to all the teachers in Batad Elementary School and Buko Integrated School na very attentive po sa ating pakikinig. So, greetings from Teacher Irene Sabanal. Also, Goyoden Elementary School headed by Principal Madam Maylin D. Cruz. And shout out po sa mga grade 4 teachers ng Bolinao Integrated School from Ma'am Emily Asiho, teachers of SDO Bohol and Batuan District, especially to the teachers of John Lud Elementary School from Ma'am Herlin, and greetings din po kay Sir Jerry Junio, EPS Science at buong SDO1 Pangasinan with Dr. Eli Ubaldo, and teachers from Lucero Elementary School na nag-enjoy daw na nakikinig sa atin from Sir Jeremy Olermo.
Hello po sa mga teachers ng Peña Blanca National High School, Peña Blanca, Cagayan, STO Cagayan, headed by their beautiful principal, Ma'am Joycel Macarilay, and head teacher Arceli Rojas and PSDS Sir George Taginod. Shout out din po kay Ma'am Cheryl, Ma'am Maggie, at Ma'am Desi, and to all the senior high school teachers. Hello din po kay Sir Sid Bayeta of Liniwan Elementary School, SDO Batangas City, Ma'am Tess Canchas of Santa Teresita Senior High School, SDO Batangas Province, kanila Ma'am Rosendi Ardales, Ma'am Daniela Mangurali of Kinalaglagan Elementary School, SDO Batangas Province.
And also greetings din po kay Ma'am Ellen Honrales from SDO Las Piñas City, and also may greetings din po tayo dito for okay, wait po.
Sige po, habang nag-iintay tayo kay Sir Jeff, hello po sa mga teachers ng Balibago Elementary School of Rosario, Batangas Province, to their school head, Ma'am Elisa Manalo, and teachers, Ma'am Evangeline Rosalios, Ma'am Rochelle Jeronimo, Ma'am Maribel De Castro, Ma'am Teresa Ebrio, Ma'am Juliet Rena, and Ma'am Edna De Mayuga. Hello din po sa Principal, Ma'am Elvi I. Cabaco, of Science and Technology Education Center, PSDS Rebecca Torin, at SDS Dr. Wilfrida Bumalos of SDO Lapu-Lapu City, Dr. Celestiano Jimenez, Director 4 of Region 7. Very supportive po sila sa ating mga programs.
Yes, of course, gusto ko rin pong batiin ng happy birthday si Sir Edgardo Omayana, our MAPE head teacher from Las Piñas National High School, Maine. Happy birthday, sir. And also kay Sir Giancarlo Carrido, happy birthday din, sir, from Las Piñas National High School, Almansa. Greetings from Sir Ariel, and of course, sa akin din.
Okay, makiki-shoutout po, no, sa ating Tala Elementary School teachers headed by Dr. Ophel Caniedo, and Caloocan National High School, Caloocan National Science teachers headed by Ma'am Presi Catanua. Hello po sa inyong lahat saan.
Yes, shout out din po sa Coteccho National Trade School, especially to Decris Marquez, Nor Salim Simpal, Shari Uyag, Michelle Cola, J.M. Bender, Armando Fat, and also to our head teacher, Ma'am Lagdamin, Sir Custodio, and Ma'am Caballes. Also to the school principal, Sir Dr. Ronald Uyo, SDO Pagadian. Then shout out din po sa Cubao Elementary School to their principal, Ma'am Eloisa C. Tamon. The greeting is from Ma'am Glo Estraliano.
Hello po sa mga teachers ng Medsalim Central Elementary School, regular teachers po, especially to Ma'am Teresita L. Leopoldo, and to their principal, Mrs. Nesietas BU, and to their PSDS, Mr. Ronald Toledo. Watching daw po yan sa atin, sir, live from Midsalit, Zamboanga del Sur. Greetings po from Ma'am Cecil Ravon.
Yes, also shout out din po sa lahat ng teachers ng Rosa L. Susano Novaliches Elementary School, SDO Quezon City, Principal Dr. Alarico Ramos, PSDS Dr. Joel L. Colombo. So the greetings from Sir Brian Patok. Also, greetings din po All the teachers from SDO Nueva Ecija, binabati po kayo ni Sir Neil, as well as the SDO Nueva Ecija Division officials to SDS Sir Jesse De Ferrer, ASDSS Mamina Gracia Acosta, Sir Ronilo Hilario, CID Chief Ma'am Jane M. Garcia, SGOD Chief Sir Louis Calizon, Santa Rosa North Annex Ma'am Agnes R. Reyes, Rahal Centro Elementary School with their principal Sir Glenn Kenneth B. Coronel, and all the faculty members of Rahal Centro Elementary School from Sir Neil Arvin Bautista.
Yes po, isang pagbati raw po mula sa SDO Laguna kay SDS Dr. Maritas Ibanez, Dr. Flor Ranca, PSDS ng Pila District, Mrs. Lani Roman, and Mrs. Frank Ocampo ng Pila Elementary School at Pila Senior High School. Pagbati din po sa power couple ng SDO Laguna, Mr. and Mrs. Daryl and Rona Peralta. Shout out din po sa lahat ng teachers ng Valenzuela National High School headed by their principal, Dr. Christopher Telino from Vica Pinal.
Also, shout out din po kina Ma'am Arlene Miradora, Michelle Mendoza, and Ma'am Cherry, and yung mga nag-train daw po ngayon sa Las Piñas National High School ng EIM, sina Sir Jello, si Sir JP Kambal, si Sir Robbie, and lahat ng mga kasamang trainers. Kasama sila Sir Noel, Sir Arnel, at Sir Salamanes. Hello, good afternoon po. At sa lahat daw po ng mga teachers from Libis Talisay Elementary School to their principal, former principal, Dr. Romeo Egot, at sa current principal na si Dr. Robert De La Cruz from Michelle Mendoza. Then also, greetings from Sir Jamar Maulana. So, ang greetings po is, shout out po sa Jan Spirig Senior Memorial Elementary School headed by the active principal Lorena Q. Bejerano. Sir or Ma'am Jamar Maulana, Cecilda Alave, Evangelina Puno, Maricon Fabriga, Ellie Joy Solis, Ana Jane Derolaga, Lizelle Arap, Arnel Arap.
Okay, hello din po. Ito medyo mahaba, sir, ha? Hello po sa mga taga-SDO Caloocan, sa kanilang SDS na si Ma'am Narisa Rosaria, CID Chief Jocelyn Alinya, sa lahat po ng District Supervisors ng SDO Caloocan. Special mention daw po kay Ma'am Cynthia Arellano at Doc Ivy Perez, gayon din sa lahat ng EPS po nila. Special mention din po sa kanilang supervisor, Sir Alan Salo, sa mga punong-puno po ng SDO Caloocan. Special mention po natin daw ang pinakamabait, masipag at supportive na principal na si Ma'am Jocelyn A. Navarro, sa lahat ng teachers ng Caloocan, lalong-lalo na po sa Morning Breeze Elementary School.
Yes, also greetings din po sa Cagayan National High School, Junior and Senior High School headed by the principal, Sir Elpidio Mabasa and Ma'am Grace Macabagbad. And sa lahat daw po ng MEA sa buong Pilipinas and MEA Ventures. And as well as kay Dr. Elena F. Balan, the OICP SDS of Galarian District, Zamboanga City Division.
Yes, eto sir, malapit sa akin ito, no? Ang pagbati galing kay Sir Joey Villanueva. Happy birthday po sa kanyang butihing asawa na si Ma'am Joy Villanueva ng Maria Clara High School. Pagbati na rin po sa lahat ng Maria Clara high school teachers. Diyan po ako practice teaching.
Yon, and also greetings din po from teacher broadcaster Arlene Uy, SDS Mr. Luis Sermina, school principal Mrs. Sarita Asco, and Santissima Masaya teachers ng Santissima Cruz Elementary School, and to all the teachers of Santa Cruz, Laguna.
Hello po sa nanonood din po sila ngayon, Mary Ann Flonasca from Santos Encarnacion Elementary School. School head po nila si Mr. Edito Favillar. Kay Sir Richard Requenada from General T. De Leon Elementary School. And principal po nila si Ma'am Marichi Escalona. Watching daw po from SDO Valenzuela. Hello po sa lahat ng mga teachers dyan.
Ayan, shoutout din po sa mga teachers ng Moalboal National High School, Cebu Province Division, especially po sa Science Department teachers, Mrs. Anita Signar, Mrs. Horolan, Mrs. Cabaron, Miss Sabanal, Miss Campanya, Miss Samrana, Mr. Tintim, and to their beloved principal, Mrs. Candida Purgatorio.
Pa-shoutout daw po sa butihing school principal na si Dr. Nora M. Villavicencio of Gaudencio Milontok Memorial Integrated School of SDO Lipa City. Ganun din po, pa-shoutout din daw po sa mga magagaling at mahusay ng mga guro ng grade 3 na nakatutok sa atin. Galing po yan sa PR San Diego Elementary School, headed by Sir Rolando Corrales.
And also, shoutout po sa SD Schools Division Office of Albay, SDS Ma'am Samantela, PSS Ma'am Susan Villanueva, Bangiawon Elementary School Family, Sir Arvin, Ma'am Zai, Sir Alan, Ma'am Shai, Ma'am Maricar, Ma'am Sheng. Very energetic school head daw po nila, si Sir Carlito Suarez Jr. The greetings from Sir Homer Liagas.
Okay, so hello din po sa PSDS na si Ma'am Marisa G. Gamboa, sa kanilang TIC na si Ma'am Camille S. Estares, at sa lahat ng mga elementary teachers ng Mambangan Elementary School SSES, SDO San Leonardo Annex, SDO Nueva Ecija. Meron pa rin po, sunod-sunod po tayo, no? Hello po sa mga teachers ng Peña Blanca National High School, Peña Blanca Cagayan, SDO Cagayan, headed by their beautiful Principal Ma'am Jalcel Macaridad, and Head Teacher Arceli Rojas, and PSDS Sir George Cadino. Shout out po kay Ma'am Shane, Ma'am Maggie, Ma'am Vici or VC, and to all senior high school teachers. So, hello po.
Yes, hello. Shout out din po kay J. Marie Rivera Velasco of SDO Rizal. The greeting is from Sir Neil Arvin Bautista.
Hello po sa mga teachers ng Santolan High School. Principal po nila si Mr. Reynaldo Reyes, And then sa Mathematics Department po ng school nila, headed by Ma'am Maria Belita M. Evangelista.
Yeah.
Okay, so babatiin ko lang po ito, medyo marami po sila. So hello to YesO National Trainers from the Vocal Person 2019. So isa-isahin ko po sila kay Ma'am Maris Basilia, Lina Gano, Richie Robles, Sir Mark Olimba, Sir Mark Takdol, Sir Algie Fatiam, Ma'am Joy Villata, Sir Jonas Domingo, Ma'am Joan Ulo, Sir Mark Tabor, Ma'am Imelda Avino, Ma'am Christine Cabiasa, Sir Tom Corpuz, Ma'am Audrey Pabionat, Ma'am Althea Tabaca Lacson, Ma'am Tessa Macabaquiao, Ma'am Maridel Montero, Sir John Mark Baruga, Ma'am Rose Daulo, Sir Andrew Salduro, Ma'am Rio Angeles, Ma'am Maridel Cruz, Ma'am Pino Lara. Pinababati po kayo ni Ma'am Divine. So hello din po sa kay Ma'am Elsa Roque, Assistant Principal of Aurelio High School.
Yes, shout out din po sa mga teachers ng Obando Central School, grade 4 teachers, Ma'am Vilma, Ma'am Alice, Ma'am Janice, Sir Ryan, Sir Sam, Ma'am Ana, Ma'am Maricel, pati na rin daw po kina Ma'am Jeline Danica, Ma'am Maika, Ma'am Mafe, Ma'am Ana, headed by Ma'am Maria Lorena B. Cardenas, and shout out din po sa Carlos P. Garcia High School, Jesus Street, Pandacan, Manila, from Elena C. Reyes. Isa po sila sa mga locations natin sa DepEd TV. And of course, Padre Burgos Elementary School from Pasay. The greetings from Ma'am Rose de los Santos.
Sige po, sir.
Then,
po.
sige. And sa lahat po ng senior high school faculty, especially to Dr. Jocelyn E.U. and Sharina Vargas of Talon-Talon National High School, Zamboanga City.
Hello po sa mga teachers po na sila Ma'am Sherilyn Rabor, Ma'am Janice Diacamus, Ma'am Sherry Bongot, Ma'am Michelle Alison, Ma'am Yolani Labra, Ma'am Ronilyn Mangyao, Ma'am Rufina Ignacio, Ma'am Suzette Vingas, Ma'am Joraldine Jimenco, Ma'am Daisy Dayono, and Sir Jolton Antopina ng Ocaña Central Elementary School. Hello po sa inyo lahat, teachers.
Ayan, then shout out din po sa Principal 3 ng Umos Integrated National High School, Mrs. Yoleni R. Portales.
Hello po sa mga teachers ng San Basilio Elementary School ng Santa Rita District, SDO Pampanga. Pagpati po yan ni Sir Tristan Jab Lagman. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Esteban Navada Elementary School, SDO Quezon City, lalo na po ang mga grade 2 teachers headed by Mr. Rebelio Olonan.
Ayan, so we only have last 1 minute. So shout out po sa lahat ng teachers of Himao Elementary School headed by Ma'am Anna Figura from Biliis District, SDO Camarines Sur.
At pinasasalamatan po namin lahat ng teachers na nagha-hashtag ng virtual INSET Day 3 kung gaano po kaganda, ka-creative at ka-magical yung mga pictures na sinesend po at pina-hashtag po natin. Salamat po, teachers. We really appreciate your support and your effort for sending to us these pictures.
Yes, kaya naman po kung meron po kayong mga pa-shoutout, please, dun po kayo mag-send sa aming YouTube account or as well as dun po sa comment section po ng ating Facebook page.
Sir, may habol lang akong
Sige po.
Okay, so galing po ito kay Sir Ariel. Okay, so hello po sa mga teachers ng Padre Burgos Elementary School, Pasay Rose, School Pasay Rose de los Santos. Hello po sa lahat ng teacher broadcasters na may shoot ngayon. Lalong-lalo na po sa may lock and shoot sa Bulacan, Team EP Chapo Ricardo. Hello din po, no sir, kahit yung mga retired teachers po na nanunuot at sumusubaybay sa ating INSET. Ma'am, sirs, maraming salamat po sa patuloy na pagsuporta kahit po wala na po kayo sa servisyo.
Ayan, and shout out din po sa San Rafael Elementary School, Ragay District Division of Camarines Sur, and to their PSDS, Ma'am Eva Tipay, Junior, and as well as Junior Bado. Ayan. So, ma'am, it's already 1:06 and we're now going back for our PM session po para sa ating training for the virtual INSET 2021.
Yes po, and for our first presenter, sir, na napakahalaga po ng topic ng ating first presentation po natin, because this is a very delicate topic na our teachers and our administrators as well should be reminded of. So to give the floor to our presenter, let us read the bio note.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. So, lying beneath the small frame of our speaker is a vast ball of energy and innovative ideas with more than 10 years of experience. She has a wide range of expertise, makes her a key player in the education landscape. She is an educational technology specialist, and she specializes in computer programming and in hardware servicing. Proof are the NC4 and NC2 certifications under her belt. As an educator, she is one of the country's Microsoft Education Ambassadors, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, Microsoft Certified Educator, and Microsoft Office Specialist, and has recently been awarded the Google Certified Educator Level 1. She is also a core member of HackTheNorth.ph, a nonprofit organization which brings the elite IT conferences to Northern Philippines. She is the lead on trainings and member of the security operations in the field. She is also an active lead learner at DevCon Kids, a volunteer organization of technology, teaching and learning in computer coding and learning experiences to kids. She graduated from F.L. Vargas College with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. She then continued to earn her master's degree from Cagayan State University, Carib Campus, and 18 units of doctorate degree from St. Paul University here in the Philippines. At present, she is set to finish her second master's degree, Master of Arts major in Administration and Supervision from the University of Cagayan Valley.
She is known inside the classroom as a visionary and hands-on teacher using her training and knowledge of ICT to create interactive and engaging learning activities. She is most known for teaching computer programming through play activities. The very subject of the research and project she presented in an international arena. She was invited as a speaker for the EdTech Asia 2019 in Singapore on programming through play as part of the BERT-funded research multimedia kit in enhancing grade 11 computer programming skills. She is also one of the first batch of teachers to finish the Group 21 Teach Excels in Region 2 and has been invited to share her notable experiences through the CIMEO Initech Lots of Learning session. Since being part of DepEd in 2016 as one of the pioneer senior high school teachers, Miss Glenna, or Glenn, as she is fondly called, has been requested to lecture for numerous trainings and conferences from the division level up to the national level to share her expertise and to help fellow educators seamlessly transition from traditional to 21st century teaching through ICT integration. It's not yet done, we have more to follow. Her skills truly make her stand out from the crowd. She is not only an ICT educator, but she is also an in-demand AF artist of DepEd books and consultant. Despite her numerous achievements, what matters most to her is to be able to share her talents to create positive change. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear teachers, we're pleased to present the first speaker for the PM session, Ma'am Glenna Tagiba.
Hello, good
Yes,
afternoon to
Ma'am
each and
Glenn.
everyone.
Hello po.
Thank you
Good
for
luck
that
po.
wonderful introduction. Okay, so hindi na po ako magpapaligoy-ligoy pa. Simulan na po natin tong session natin this afternoon. Okay, alright. So this afternoon, I'll be presenting with you the overview of the RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. And disclaimer, the materials here are actually from the National Privacy Commission and so with the slides of Attorney Cleo Martinez. Okay? So, the value of data privacy has become more relevant in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. So, as more people utilizing other avenues to access services, education, news, and other information, more people are providing their personal data to more organizations. So personal data being processed online exposes you such information in different or wider range of risks, and organizations need to be able to manage the risk by securing their organization and the personal data that they process. So this webinar aims to educate all participants about securing your personal data, upholding data privacy, and compliance with the law. All right. So objectives number 1, so at the end of this session, so the participants will be able to understand the underlying concepts of Data Privacy Act of 2012 and its importance. Next, understand the do's and don'ts of online learning for K-12 and college students, parents, guardians, teachers, and schools. And syempre, dahil nasa cybersecurity field din naman po ako, I'll be sharing you some threat hunting tools to detect and isolate advanced threats that evade existing security solutions. Okay, so before starting my presentation, panoorin po muna natin tong video na to.
Hindi ako tinanong nung Miss Universe, pero sa totoo lang, the most significant change I've seen in the world in the past 10 years is the rise of information as the primary mover of policy and economies. Sa mga industriya, tahanan, at mga pamahalaan sa buong mundo, naka-internet at automated na ang mga pang-araw-araw na bagay at gawain, kahit ang paghahanap ng pag-ibig. Ang privacy ngayon, hindi na tungkol sa lugar at kung sino ang iyong kasama. Tungkol ito sa personal information na nais at hindi nais ibahagi sa iba. Kahit ba sa tingin mo, wala ka naman dapat ikahiya o itago. Ang cellphone number mo ba, kung kani-kanino mo lang ibibigay? I-address, social security number, passport information, pangalan ng mga magulang at paaralan ng mga anak. Ako si Raymond Enriquez Liboro, Chairman ng National Privacy Commission. Trabaho naming siguraduhin ang dapat pribado na nanatiling pribado. Ginagawa namin ito sa pamamagitan ng pagpapaalala sa mga kumpanya at mga ahensya ng pamahalaan na nagpoproseso ng personal na information mo na gawin ang lahat ng nararapat ayon sa batas upang maprotektahan ang mga personal na datos na dapat sa iyo. Pero kalahati lang yan ang laban. Kailangan namin ang tulong mo. Mahalin ang sarili. Pangalagaan ang iyong right to privacy. Hindi ako tinanong nung Miss Universe.
Okay, so gaya ng sinabi dun sa video kanina, pangalagaan ng sarili. So pangalagaan ang yung right to privacy. So tatanungin ko po kayo regarding this one. So which is more valuable? Is it data or money? So a lot of you might say Siyempre, kailangan naman po talaga natin ng pera. Pero sa panahon ngayon, ano ba talaga ang mas importante sa atin? Okay? So, masasagot po yan mamaya sa mga presentations ko. So, in this picture, makikita po natin na, ayan, there's a public school teacher in debt because of identity theft. Okay? So, paano ba siya nangyari? So, dun sa investigation po na nangyari dito, na naalala nung employee na nag-post po siya ng photo ng kanyang PRC ID online. O di po ba? Imagine ninyo yung pinost nyo, yung perwisyong binigay sa inyo, napakalaki. Okay. Identity thieves can get a loan. Parang nakita nyo kanina dun sa picture. They can also open credit cards for you, open utility accounts, apply for a refund, apply for employment, get medical care. So, yung mga nasa kwan natin, gagamitin nila yung mga IDs ninyo para dyan. And then, commit crime or fraud. So, what are the different impacts on victims? Siyempre, number 1, denial of credit or loans. Na-max out na po yung salary ninyo eh. Okay? Pangalawa, denial of public service. Okay? Pangatlo, denial of medical care, harassment by collectors, lawsuits, which is yun nga, napaka-stressful po yan. Stress and anxiety, embarrassment, and syempre ito, time and then expenses spent on recovery steps. So, yan po yung impact. Kapag hindi po natin pinangalagaan yung mga data na sinishare natin online. So, in the EdTech unit, along with the applications that we share, yung mga natututunan ninyo po ngayon, so it's also equally important that we know kung safe ba to gamitin, and at the same time, secured po ba yung mga informations na sinishare po natin. So, what are the examples of breaches na nakita natin? Number 1, yung COMELEC. Okay? Pangalawa, yung mga consent form in fine print. Pangatlo, unsecured storage of documents. Like for example, confidential nga po yan, tas nilagay nyo lang po sa isang box. Okay? Pang-apat, student transferred by her parent without her knowledge. Panglima, list of top students or passers. Although nakikita po natin actually ito over the internet. Pero, okay lang naman po mag-post ng mga names ng mga passers po natin. But we see to it na hindi po tayo susobra dun sa informations na sinishare po natin. Okay? And then another one is yung login procedure in a building. Siyempre, kung binalandra nyo po yung login procedure po ninyo dyan, o di pag nakita nung mga gustong pumasok sa organization ninyo, alam na po nila yung gagawin. 7, unjustifiable collection of personal data in school. So, reminder din po sa lahat ng paaralan, ayan, na tignan din po natin yung data na ginagather po natin sa mga estudyante or even the parents. So kung for example, nag-collect man tayo, we see to it that we secure those informations and gagamitin lang po natin yung mga informations dyan sa kung anong purpose lang po talaga. And then number 8, use of recycled papers. So potential breach din po yan, although syempre sa DepEd or even me, nagtitipid po tayo ng papel. So, nagre-recycle po tayo actually ng papers. Pero, tignan naman po natin yung ginagamit natin. Baka mamaya, yung mga nire-recycle natin na papel, may mga important informations din po doon. Okay? And then, o, diba? Yung mga sumasali po sa raffle, ayan. Yung for example, mga may paraffle, tapos ibibigay, kailangan yung sabihin yung complete name ninyo, contact number ninyo, and so with the address, ayan, nagfi-fiesta na po yung mga gustong gumamit ng informations ninyo. So, reminder lang po na iwasan po natin yung mga ganyan. Okay? Now, para makaiwas, panoorin ulit po natin to.
If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Huwag magpabiktima. Baka makompromiso lang ang privacy mo.
OMG! Nanalo ko ng BMW! Pero wala naman akong sinalihan eh. Hi sir! Pa-fill up naman po ng online form namin with free gifts.
Yes, ako yun.
Sir, your 5 million peso loan has been approved. I need to verify your full name, address, and birthday.
My full name is...
Huwag magpabiktima sa mga modus na ganito. Ang personal information na ibinibigay mo ay maaaring magamit ng labag sa iyo. That is why privacy matters. Kakampi mo ang National Privacy Commission. Protektahan ang iyong right to privacy. Piliin ang pagkakatiwalaan ng personal information mo.
Ayan, tama. So, piliin nyo lang po kung sino yung pagkakatiwalaan nyo. So, nakita din po namin on the past days ng INSET po natin. So, may mga kumakalat nga pong forms wherein yun, nagko-collect ng attendance. Please be vigilant. Kung for example, hindi po ito yung kailangan ninyo na form for your attendance, wag po natin i-fill up yun. Okay? So, what are the different impacts of a problematic data action on businesses or organization? Number 1, yung loss of reputation. Pangalawa, loss of market share. And pangatlo, legal liabilities. So, nakikita nyo po sa screen yung mga root causes of breach. So, 47% comes from the malicious or criminal attack. So, talagang pinapasok ng mga hackers yung organization po ninyo or yung mga systems po ninyo. Pangalawa, 29% comes from system glitch, lalo na kapag, for example, nasa maintenance po tayo. Hindi po natin may iwasan na may mga glitches. And, ang laki po ng percentage ng human error, 24%. And yung mga hackers po natin, actually, kayo po yung unang-unang pinupuntirya kasi ang weakest link po ng isang organization are the human element. So what are the different key concepts on this data privacy? So there are 3 personas here in data privacy. Number 1, we have the data subject, or this is what we call as an individual whose personal information, sensitive personal information, or privileged information is being processed. Pangalawa, we have what we call as the Personal Information Controller or the PIC. It refers to a natural or juridical person or any other body who controls the processing of personal data or instructs another to process personal data on its behalf. So, hindi po ito employee, hindi po ito yung data protection officer and not the chief information officer. And pangatlo, we have the Personal Information Processor or the PIP. It refers to any natural or juridical person or any other body to whom a personal information controller may outsource or instruct the processing of personal data pertaining to a data subject. So, personal information processor should not make use of personal data for its own purpose. Lahat naman to responsibility naman po ng kahit sino man. So, hindi lang po ito para lang kay personal information processor. Lahat po tayo, responsibilidad po natin na pangalagaan yung mga personal informations po natin for our data, for our privacy. So, we have also what we call as processing. Any operation of any set of operations performed upon personal data, including but not limited to collection, recording, organization, storage, updating or modification, retrieval, consultation, use, consolidation, blocking, erasure, or destruction of data. So lahat po yan, sakop po ng tinatawag nating processing. Now, what are the different classification of personal data? Una, we have what we call as the personal information. Ito lang naman po yung mga informations that directly identify an individual. Okay? And pangalawa, we have also what we call as the sensitive personal information. These are individuals' race, ethnic origin, marital status, age, color, and religious, philosophical, political affiliations, lahat po yan. Yung individual's health, education, genetic or sexual life, or to any proceeding for any offense. So kasama po yan sa sensitive personal information natin. And at the same time, yung mga government-issued personal numbers natin, iwasan naman po nating i-post po yung mga IDs na yan. Okay? Like SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, LTO, and the like. Okay? Now, you can see the different personal information, sensitive personal information, and so with the privileged information. Pag sinabi nating privilege kasi, these are the list based on rules of court. Okay? Kung titignan ko po actually dito sa ating presentation, kayo, tignan nyo po, bumingo na po ba kayo? Shinare nyo na po ba ito over our social media platforms? Yung pangalan ninyo, address nyo, makikita ninyo. So, kailangan po natin isipin and syempre mag-reflect, ay dapat pala hindi ko sinishare po itong mga informations na to. Okay? Kaya nga po pumasok itong awareness seminar na to on data privacy. So what is the structure of RA 10173? Sections 1 to 6 is the definitions and the general provisions of the law. And then section 7 to 10, that's the National Privacy Commission. And then sections 11 to 21, dyan naman pumapasok yung rights of data subject and obligations of personal information controllers and processors. And then sections 22 to 24, the provisions specific to government. And then sections 25 to 37, nandyan naman po yung penalties. Tama po kayo. Meron po tayong penalties once nakita po yung mga violations na ginawa ninyo under the law of the Data Privacy Act or yung RA 10173. Okay, so panoorin naman po natin to.
Nakakaasar, no? Would you believe may naloloko pa rin ito? Minsan ang teknolohiya, hindi puro happy at lucky lang. Pag nakompromiso ang iyong personal information at privacy, maaari itong makasama sa ating finances, ekonomiya, social life, love life at iba pa. Halimbawa, pagbukas mo ng email mo, daming messages na nag-o-offer. Di mo naman knows. Daming stalker Ganito kasi yan, bes. Nag-post ka sa social media. Nag-register ka sa isang event. Hiningi nila yung personal information mo. Dahil excited ka at libre, binigay mo naman. Yung personal info mo, minsan, pinapasa ito para sa profiling o direct marketing. Buti ganyan lang. Paano kung ganito? Shocking, no? Pero don't stress yourself dahil meron na tayong batas dyan. National Privacy Commission ang kakampi mo sa iyong right to privacy. Life goal natin, ang maayos at secure na processing ng personal information mo. Know your rights, bes. You have the right to be informed, right to object, right to access, right to rectification, right to erasure or blocking, right to damages, right to data portability, at right to file a complaint. Maaari mo itong ipadala sa complaints@privacy.gov.ph. Kung may iba ka pang katanungan, ipadala sa info@privacy.gov.ph. Galing, di ba? At kung may magkakasala, National Privacy Commission din ang kakampi mo. At may kaparusahan sa paglabag ng right to privacy mo. Bes, ikaw lang ang pwedeng magsabi kung kanino ka magtitiwala. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng privacy. Visit www.privacy.gov.ph.
Alright. So, nakita nyo naman po yung video kanina. Now, I will discuss further the Data Privacy Act of 2012. This is actually an act protecting individual personal information in information and communications systems in the government and the private sector. Creating for this purpose is the National Privacy Commission and for other purposes. So where is the privacy in all of this? The law upholds the right to privacy by protecting individual personal information. So the National Privacy Commission protects individual personal information by regulating the processing of personal information. So, ito po yung nakikita po natin. This is actually the privacy ecosystem. So, it starts with you, the data subject. Pangalawa, the different organizations or yung mga PIC at saka PIP natin. And pangatlo, we have the regulators, yung tinatawag nating NPC. So the policy states in Section 2, it protects the fundamental human right of privacy of communication while ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and growth. The role of information and communications technology to ensure that personal information under the custody of the government and private sector are secured. For the scope, states in Section 4, it applies to the processing of all types of personal information in the country and even abroad, subject to certain qualifications. And in Section 15, personal information controllers may invoke the principle of privileged communication over privileged information that they lawfully control or process. Now, ano ba yung mga karapatan natin actually here? Here are the 8 rights of the data subject. Sa una, right to information. So under the chapter 4 of the act, there are actually 8 rights that belong to data subjects. First, ito nga po yung right to information. So the right to be informed means that the data subject has the right to know when his or her personal data shall be or are being or have been processed. Collection and processing of data without the data subject's knowledge and explicit consent is made unlawful. And entities in possession of personal data is obligated to inform the data subject of any breaches or compromises in their data. That's the first one. Pangalawa, we have right to object. Okay? Right to object kasi karapatan din po natin na kung for example, ayaw po natin na ipa-open yung mga informations na meron po tayo, karapatan po natin yon. And then we have also right to access. The right to access involves being able to compel any entity processing any personal data to provide the data subject with a description of such data in its possession, as well as the purposes for which they are to be or being processed, as well as the purposes for which they are being processed. Okay? And then furthermore, other details regarding the processing of their information may be obtained, such as the period of which the information will be stored, recipients to whom the information may be disclosed. Lahat po yan sakop ng right to access. And then, pang-apat, we have also have the right to correct. Like for example, may mali sa information po natin, pwede po tayong pwede po nating i-correct yung mga informations na yan. Okay? And then, number 5, right to erase. Number 6, right to damages. And then number 7, right to data portability. And then 8, right to file a complaint. So, lahat po yan, karapatan po natin being the data subject. So, lahat naman po ito, this actually requires consent. Kaya nga po, kapag nag-gather po tayo ng data in the field, you see to it na dapat meron po tayong consent. Okay? Ipabasa po natin, i-explain po natin dun sa consent kung saan lang po natin gagamitin yung mga informations na nagagather and how long. Okay? So, ito po yung mga rights ng data subject po natin. Now, ano nga ba dapat yung life cycle ng mga data na nag-gather natin? Una, ang nangyayari po kasi dyan, nauuna po yung creation at saka collection. Followed by, syempre pag nag-collect na yan, storing and transmitting. Pangatlo, use and distribute. Pang-apat, i-retain. Pero pag hindi na po kailangan, lahat ng yan, i-dispose na po natin and destroy. Pag sinabi po nating dispose, hindi po yung biglang tapon na lang po sa basurahan. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating dispose or destroy, so kung maaari, hindi na kailangan, sunugin na po natin yung mga hindi na importante yan para at least hindi na po natin makita or talagang i-delete na po talaga natin kung hindi po talaga kailangan. Now, the different obligations of a personal information controller. So, nandyan po yung mga kailangan gawin ni PIC. So, siya yung magko-collect ng information, magpa-process fairly and lawfully. And, syempre, kailangan yung pinaprocess ni PIC, it should be accurate, relevant, and up-to-date personal information. The PIC also should collect and process the personal information adequately and not excessively. Kasi hindi po, bawal po yung sobra-sobrang information na ginagather natin. Kung for example, yung information tamang-tama lang doon sa kailangan mo, so yun lang po. And then the PIC should retain personal information only for as long as necessary for the fulfillment of the purposes. And then last, the PIC implement reasonable and appropriate organizational, physical, and technical measures intended for the protection of personal information. Now, meron po tayong data privacy principles. Although, meron naman po, medyo nag-add na rin po yung mga principles na to from the different revisions. Yan. So, meron po tayong tatlo. We have transparency, legitimate purpose, and proportionality. So, ito po yung mga principles na ina-uphold ng National Privacy Commission natin. Okay? So, the transparency or the principle of transparency that the data subject must be aware of the nature, purpose, and extent of the processing of his or her personal data, which is tama naman. Yun naman po dapat yung kailangan po nating gawin in the field. Okay? Kasi kung hindi naman po natin pangangalagaan yung mga ginagather natin na informations, magkakaroon naman po yung risk yung mga taong yan. Okay? So, we have to exercise yung responsible processing of personal data. Now, how transparency is demonstrated? Una, kailangan po ninyo ng consent. Pangalawa, privacy notice. Kung hindi nyo po napapansin, kung for example, you're going to visit new sites na alam ninyong nakakatulong sa inyo or the applications na kailangan ninyo sa inyong mobile phones or any gadgets, check their privacy notice. Doon nyo po makikita kung paano nila actually i-handle yung mga data na magagather nila sa inyo. So, yung privacy notice usually nasa babayan ng website. And then, before, usually, guilty po tayo. Karamihan dito guilty. Hindi po tayo nagbabasa nung terms and agreement. Pero, kung may time po, basahin po natin yun para at least alam po natin kung safe ba to gamitin, safe ba to sa ating mga anak, sa mga kilala, and so with ourselves. And then yung privacy policy. Okay? Yung privacy policy, nakikita to sa baba ng website actually, or even in the applications that you installed in your computers and so with your mobile phones. So, consent of the data subject. So, it refers to any freely given specific informed indication of will. So, whereby the data subject agrees to the collection and the processing of personal information about and relating to him, her consent shall be evidenced by written, electronic, or recorded means. So, it may also be given on behalf of the data subject by an agent specifically authorized by the data subject to do so. Example po ito, kapag for example, kukuha po kayo ng papers ng mga anak ninyo sa school at hindi po kayo makakapunta. Kaya nga po importante po na magbigay po kayo ng consent dun sa taong kukuha ng informations ng mga anak ninyo. Kasi hindi po yan basta-basta dapat binibigay sa taong hindi naman related. Okay? So, important reminder. Sana po, pag matapos tong session na to, wag niyo pong kalimutan tong reminder na to. If it's not clear, it's not consent. Okay? So, legitimate purpose naman, it's the processing of information that shall be compatible with the declared and specified purpose, which must not be contrary to law, morals, or public policy. And then, proportionality. So, the principles of proportionality is the processing of information shall be adequate, relevant, suitable, necessary, and not excessive in relation to the declared and specified purpose. So, personal data shall be processed only if the purpose of the processing could not reasonably be fulfilled by other means. Example po ito. O, 'di ba? Para lang po makautang, kailangan niyo po bang i-comply po lahat niyan? Lahat na ata. Hindi ka pa nakakautang, naubos na yung pagkuha mo ng mga papers na 'yan, 'di ba? So, hindi na po to proportion, hindi naman din po kailangan. Okay? Now, there are 5 pillars of compliance under the law. So, number 1, commit to comply or appoint a data protection officer. Number 2, know your risks and conduct a privacy impact assessment. Nakikita po lahat to sa site ng National Privacy Commission or the NPC. And then, pangatlo, be accountable and then create your privacy management program and privacy manual. This is also applicable in schools naman. And then number 4, demonstrate your compliance. Pag sinabi nating demonstrate your compliance, it starts with you. It starts with me. Be a role model to others and so with our students. Okay? Implement your privacy and data protection measures. And if you are part of an organization, you follow strictly the policy in that organization. Kaya nga nang sabi ko, ang weakest link po ng organization actually are the human element. Okay? And number 5, be prepared for breach. Regularly exercise your breach reporting procedures. Lahat naman in this time naman na halos lahat na automated, pumapasok po talaga yung mga breaches na yan. Okay? Now, the data privacy golden rule. Okay? If you can't protect it, don't collect it. That's the golden rule in data privacy. Okay. So, along with the overview of the data privacy, gusto ko rin pong i-add itong do's and don'ts natin in online learning for K-12 and college students, parents, guardians, teachers, and schools. Kasi halos lahat tayo actually, we actually transferred from traditional classroom to yun nga, online classes. And etong NPC Bulletin number 16 na to, pinalabas para i-safeguard yung privacy ng teachers, ng schools, and even the students that we teach. So, ano nga ba yung do's ng mga students? You create strong passwords when signing up on e-learning platforms. Pero reminder din po actually sa mga estudyante, we remind also our students that if they are going to create their account, sana naman yung tamang pangalan kasi 'di ba gumagawa kasi sila ng aliases, hindi din naman po tayo manghuhula na name-memorize natin yung mga estudyante natin with those aliases of names. O 'di ba may mga biases sila and so on. So for the passwords, ang pinaka-strong password na mare-recommend ko sa inyo it's a combination of numbers and then uppercase and lowercase of letters and symbols. So yun po. Kung phrases, pwede naman basta mahaba and basta hindi siya masyadong nagpo-point out sa identity mo. Okay? And I recommend also that you change your passwords monthly. Kasi hindi natin alam kung kailan tayo papasukan ng viruses or yung mga vulnerabilities na galing sa internet. Okay? Number 2, staying alert during online classes. If you are a student, be alert also in the presentations of your teachers, lalo na kapag nag-share si teacher ng videos, photos, and files. And then using customized backgrounds to avoid accidental disclosure of personal information. So kung hindi po may iwasan na wala po kayong mahanap na background or customized background, although some of the platforms that we have we are using actually in the field, meron naman po siyang options that they can change actually the background. Pero in the absence of that, dun sa mga platforms na yon, hanap po kayo ng corners sa inyong bahay na very clear, maayos naman, at kung maaari, yung tipong wala dapat, may hindi makakadaan yung mga tao sa likod mo para hindi ka rin ma-disturb. Okay? And then installing and regularly updating your antivirus is a must. Kasi every now and then, palakas ng palakas yung mga viruses na pwedeng pumasok sa inyong mga units. And then, muting the microphone and turning off the camera by default. Kung teachers po tayo, explain po natin yan sa mga bata na pwede naman po yung ganon. By default, dapat nakamute na po yung microphone nila and so with the camera. Para once they enter the meeting, hindi naman po yung biglang nagulat kayo kasi maingay. Okay? Or nagulat kayo kasi ganon yung naging itsura ng estudyante nyo. So, i-practice po natin yung mga bata na gawin po to. And then turning off the microphone and camera when leaving one station. For example, if you want to say bathroom breaks. So kung for example, kakain kayo, iinom kayo, mag-off naman po kayo ng camera, di po ba? Hindi naman po bawal mag-off ng camera. Okay? What are the don'ts for students? So connecting phones, laptops, and gadgets to free public Wi-Fi's. Alam naman po natin na syempre with the different platforms that we have, kailangan po natin ng internet. Pero kung hindi natin maiiwasan yung pag-access ng public internet natin or public Wi-Fi, make sure na alam ninyo, wala po kayong sinishare na personal informations nyo on the use of those public Wi-Fis. Pero kung available naman po ang data ninyo, mag-data na lang po tayo. Okay? And then, sharing submissions for an unlimited time. So, kung hindi na po kailangan, wag na po. I-share nyo na po and then i-delete nyo na. Sending assignments, projects, and other requirements to teachers via social media. Sa ngayon naman po, may mga platforms naman na po tayo na parang extension of our classrooms like Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Edmodo, ano pa ba. Pwede naman po doon mag-send ng projects, pero intindihin din po natin yung side ng mga estudyante natin na hindi po lahat available or pwede sa gadget ng mga bata yung mga applications na yon. So, pasensya, habaan lang po natin yung pasensya, and we understand also the situations of others. So, compassionate pa rin naman po tayo. And then, don'ts. Although, kahit teachers, guilty din po to. Taking screenshots of the video feed of teachers and classmates, lalo na pag unguarded moments, di ba? Yung nakanganga ka, and so on. Tapos, ini-screenshot ng mga estudyante nyo. Tapos, they shared it to their GCs, o di ba? Parang, magugulat ka na lang, kinaumagahan, sikat ka ng meme. So, iwasan po natin yon. It's very important that we educate the youth on these things, yung responsible use of the materials that we have over the internet. Then spamming the chat. Syempre, paano pag yung estudyante mo pala Bitcoin warrior, di ba? Spam pa more. Wag naman po kasi syempre natatabunan po, lalo syempre sa GC nag-i-inform ka ng mga announcement, tapos yung mga estudyante nyo makukulit, mag-uusap sila dyan ng Mobile Legends or whatsoever. Ayan, na-spam na ang inyong GC at hindi nyo na po nabasa yung important information o announcement na binigay mo. So, sabihan din po natin that if that GC is created, so for informations lang na importante sana yung nandun. Gumawa na lang sila ng another GC nila para dun sa mga pag-i-spam nila sa classmates nila. And then, giving out online links and passwords to people who should not be in the class. So, dapat, being a student, wag nyo pong ibigay naman yung mga links na yan at saka passwords sa ibang tao na hindi nyo naman kilala. Okay? So, for parents or legal guardians naman po, ito naman po yung mga do's natin. Number 1, helping the child or ward check and customize the privacy settings of the device or application for online learning. In your mobile phones, meron po tayong parental controls po dyan. Or even dito sa mga sites, or yung sa YouTube, meron din po tayong parental controls doon. You can control actually the kung ano lang yung pwedeng gawin ng mga estudyante or mga anak po ninyo with the use of those materials and sites. Okay? I-set nyo lang po yung parental controls. Pangalawa, teaching them basic online security. So, kung kaya ng mga estudyante po natin ngayon, yung online security na kung sabihan nyo po yung anak po natin, kung minor po yan, bantayan po natin pag nag-online, and then sabihan din po natin na wag basta-basta mag-share ng informations on our social media platforms. And then, reminder ko rin po actually sa mga teachers din na kagaya ko to stop requiring the parents or the students to create, lalo na pag minor, to create their own social media platforms, lalo na pag bata. Kasi sobrang risky po yon. Okay? So, lahat naman po ito, napapag-usapan naman ng maayos between the parents and so with the students and so with the teachers. And then taking a moment to read the school's privacy policy. And then ensuring that your consent is obtained for recording classes. Yan, reminder din po sa lahat ng teachers that once you have a meeting with your parents, so kailangan din po natin na dapat may consent po tayo. Okay? And then, parents for legal guardians, leaving the child, especially minors. So, hindi po dapat natin iwanan yung mga anak po natin. So, for teachers naman, teachers must always consider the following, like the privacy, equity, and peculiarity among students when conducting online classes. So, yung privacy, ayan, dapat comfortable yung mga estudyante natin in displaying their living spaces to their peers. Equity, so alam po natin that not all students have reliable internet access, even teachers. Okay? And then peculiarity, some students might feel shy or anxious on camera. Wag po natin silang pilitin mag-open ng webcam. Okay? Kasi pwedeng maka-affect yan sa performance ng mga bata. So for teachers, ayan, making webcam use optional in online class. So it's optional. Recording online classes as long as it has legitimate uses. Like for example, para dun sa mga estudyanteng nahihirapan, pwede naman mag-record para at least kung nawala man sila sa online class nyo, you can give the recordings to them. And then considering the principles of legitimate interest. What else? Obtaining the explicit consent of the student or guardians when you want to post something over your social media platforms or even conducting online classes. And then letting students decide whether they would turn on the cameras and devices. So, kailangan makuha nyo po yung consent ng mga estudyante nyo or even the parents. And then asking questions regularly to assess students' understanding. So, parang konting chit-chat lang muna, di ba? Kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga lessons natin pwedeng makuha ng mga estudyante, lalo pag nakat siya. Okay, so kumustahin lang po muna natin sila before tayo mag-start ng class. So what are the don'ts for teachers? Posting announcement that involves personal data. It's a big no-no. Kapag for example naman, you take a screenshot of the recordings that you have with the students. Kung wala po kayong, hindi nyo po nakuha yung consent ng mga bata at gusto nyong i-post, kasi syempre, kailangan natin ng MOVs, i-blur po natin, okay, i-blur po natin yung photos na yon, and then maglagay tayo ng mga emojis on the faces of the students, lalo kung minor po yan. Okay? And then exam results, dapat hindi rin po yan pinupost. Allowing students to submit projects and assignments via social media platform, hindi natin naiiwasan, pero kung alam niyo dun lang pwedeng makapag-send kasi yung estudyante natin, hayaan natin, pero i-explain natin sa bata na sa susunod, dun na siya dun sa platform na meron kayo. And then see to it na wala namang masyadong personal information dun sa sinishare ng bata. And then storing personal data collected. And then correlating students' use and eye contact. Hindi po basehan yung padamihan ng likes sa grades. At kung for example, attentive po siya sa screen ninyo, wag po natin gamitin po yon. Okay? And then removing students from the class or forcing them to turn on their cameras on. So for schools naman, adopting particular learning management system, kung ano lang po yung safe na gamitin ng mga bata. And then ensuring the LMS or OPP has adequate data protection features. Informing students before collection about the personal data to be processed. And then exercising caution when integrating apps. Okay? Or the supporting tools. Pwede rin po kayo mag-survey sa mga parents natin. Kasi marami din pong alam na pwedeng i-share din po yung mga parents natin when it comes to their best practices when it comes to apps. Baka may alam din po sila, di ba? And then being familiar and up to date with all privacy-related trends. So lahat ng mga to, you must refer to the NPC para ma-ensure yung protection ng students' personal data, and then forming a data breach response team kung may nangyaring ganyan, establish the policies and implementing them effectively, and then conducting and investing in security audits kung may budget lang naman. And then strengthening systems against prominent web attacks. So those for schools, yan, mag-update po tayo ng systems po natin. Pinaka-importante po to, backup. Okay? Mag-backup po tayo kasi kung importante yung mga informations na yan, hindi po pwedeng nasa flash drive nyo lang po. You can have other cloud options naman kung saan nyo pwedeng i-save yung mga informations na yan. You can use OneDrive for Microsoft, Google Drive for Google. So, marami. So, don'ts for schools, yung keeping personal data longer than their intended purpose. So, kung hindi na po kailangan, wag na po. Okay. So, before, syempre, part ako ng Microsoft. So, I'll be sharing also the different applications na compliant pa rin naman po si Microsoft.
In our digital world, 41% of employees say mobile apps are changing the way they work. This enables efficient operations and on-the-go productivity that increases businesses' competitiveness. But as cloud and bring-your-own-device trends are now the norm, personal data can be stolen in a security breach. It can also accidentally fall into the wrong hands, because even trusted employees can unknowingly put their company at risk due to an honest mistake. Such instances can compromise consumers' privacy, which leads to loss of trust. That can cost your job and lead to loss of revenue for your businesses. You and your employees are responsible for your customers' personal data. So to help you prevent data loss or theft from happening, the Philippine government has created the National Privacy Commission and passed the Data Privacy Act of 2012. It may be long and hard to understand, but you just need to know your business's 5 legal obligations and requirements. Microsoft delivers the most secure and seamless digital transformation solutions to empower all types of organizations, and these can enable your business to be compliant with the Data Privacy Act. Seamlessly ensure that your customers' personal data is secure anytime and anywhere through persistent data protection across identity, devices, apps and data, and infrastructure. Help counter identity compromise with conditional access, multi-factor authentication, and automatically identify potential breaches. With Azure Active Directory Premium, only you and those you trust can access your computing environments, data, and applications. It features tools such as multi-factor authentication for highly secure sign-in, while Windows Hello is a convenient enterprise-grade identity checker that uses biometrics and PIN methods. Support BYOD throughout your organization with endpoint security strategies that detect suspicious activity and quickly respond to attacks. When working with your own mobile device and using corporate data, Intune can encrypt devices, selectively wipe data, and control applications access, storage, and sharing. It works for Outlook and other apps. This ensures sensitive corporate data cannot be pasted into personal apps. And when you feel your device is lost or stolen, you can quickly block, quarantine, or wipe it remotely. You can secure files carrying sensitive information even if you forget your password. Azure Information Protection makes your data identifiable and secure, no matter how it's stored or shared, all with one click. And when you're about to email sensitive data such as credit card info, Data Loss Prevention, meanwhile, tells you if you're about to share sensitive data. Safely use cloud apps with additional protection. With BitLocker and Advanced Threat Protection, your corporate information can be encrypted and your email shielded from harmful emails and attachments. Microsoft products also have built-in security. It combines endpoint protection with Windows 10 Enterprise, comprehensive email protections with Enterprise Mobility Plus Security, and the mobile productivity with Office 365. Microsoft's Azure safeguards your data in the cloud following government standards. It uses end-to-end security measures to empower all types of organizations. Trust only those solution vendors who follow government and NPC standards. The NPC recommends ISO 27018 standards as a way to comply with the guidelines of the Data Privacy Act and its own issuances. And Microsoft, the first cloud provider to adhere to the ISO IEC 27018 Code of Practice, helps your business comply with the principles and standards required by the Data Privacy Act. Discover your risk level by taking the assessment by the NPC or by visiting aka.ms/privacy risk assessment to know more. A smart and responsible business will use trusted and compliant technology. Be smart. Be responsible. Talk to us now.
Ayan, alright. So nakita niyo po yung mga applications and softwares that Microsoft mas offered for your security. Although, actually sa akin din sa phone ko, meron po akong Microsoft Authenticator doon. So lahat po ng aking
In our
informations, yung mga accounts ko, kasama na rin po doon. Now, as an extra, dahil nga po, part po ako ng security team dun sa field, so I'll be sharing with you some threat hunting tools. Pag sinabi naman nating threat hunting tools, checker po ito ng mga URLs na nakukuha ninyo, o mga files na nada-download po ninyo if it's safe or not. So ito po yung mga sites na yan na pwede nyo pong puntahan. So we have the global site safety ng trendmicro.com, yung csi.forcepoint, ito po yung mga ginagamit namin sa field, urlcat.checkpoint.com, the virus total, URL scan, and then yung expandurl.net. Ito po yung, kasi usually yung mga URLs, lalo na kapag na-shorten po yan, nandun po kasi yung vulnerabilities minsan. So you can use the expandurl.net para makita ninyo kung ano po talaga yung totoong URL. Okay? So, syempre, nag-screenshot na rin po ako dyan kung ano po yung itsura niyan. So, this is in the Trend Micro. So, ilalagay nyo lang po dyan dito yung URL. You can check here kung for example, sasabihin naman niya po sa inyo if it's safe, it's dangerous, it's suspicious, or untested. So that's in the Trend Micro or yung global site safety ng trendmicro.com. And then for the first point, ang kagandahan po kasi nito, once you place the URL, ina-analyze niya, then magbibigay na rin po siya ng report sa inyo. Okay? Then we have also the checkpoint. Yan, so ika-categorize na yung mga URL categorization po natin. And then the virus total, scan niya po yung mga files, URL, and so on. Kung safe ba to gamitin at i-install sa inyong gadgets. And then itong URL scan.io naman, this is actually a sandbox wherein dito nyo makikita kung parang simulation kung anong nangyayari dun sa mga URLs na yun once you scan them here. Okay. And then, yung expand URL, ito, especially dun sa mga naka-shortened na URL, you can place here, pwede nyo pong gamitin dito, ilagay nyo lang po dito yung URL na yan, and then i-expand niyo para makita niyo whether ano ba yung laman ng URL, 'di ba? And syempre, be vigilant kapag nakita niyo pong walang S doon sa URL. So HTTP ganun lang, ibig sabihin it's not safe. Okay? So, ayan, lahat po ng informations na in-offer, na shinare ko po ngayon, makikita nyo po yan sa official site ng privacy.gov.ph, sa Facebook, sa privacy.gov, and sa Twitter nila na privacy.ph. So if you have if you have questions, you can actually email them at info@privacy.gov.ph. Okay? So, to end this session, so I'll quote this quotation from Catherine Harmul. Privacy is about consent. It's about awareness. It's about understanding and transparency. So, the Data Privacy Act of 2012 was passed to extend actually protection to people and their data in the modern age. So it provides a regime for regulating the processing and storage of particular personal and sensitive information given the new avenues of information exchange and have opened up and continue to open up in this era. So this regulation is achieved through the recognition of rights according to the data subjects, and though the imposition of obligations upon entities and the deal with the information of such data subjects. So in order to understand how the Data Privacy Act provides protection, and more importantly, in order for any individual to be able to benefit its protections, it is important to understand the concept of a data subject as well as his rights. Okay? So, maraming salamat.
Thank you, Ma'am Glenna, for that wonderful presentation about RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. We learned so much, Sir Jeff, no?
Yes, well actually, nung nakita nga natin yung mga in-explaining kanina ni Sir Mark, di ba? Medyo related talaga dun sa topic ng ating speaker for today. And with that, we'll be asking questions po later. Okay lang po ba, ma'am?
Yes po.
Ayan.
Sa haba ng bio note niya and with your accomplishments, I know she's very ready to answer the questions.
Yes. Kaya naman po, so we'll be waiting for those questions. Pag na-flash po na ating technical director, we'll start with it.
Okay, so I'll just note po sa ating mga audience to please send in their question through the URL that you can see on your screen. And we are very excited to flash your questions and present it to our presenter for today. So nalaman natin, Sir Jeff, na napaka-importante na kayo din maingat sa ating information nowadays. Since ang dami nga natin mga sa news, di ba? Parang last month ata merong isang company, loan company, na pinasuhan because they sell information of their customers and clients.
Yes, kaya nga naman po, if you can still remember, di ba, nung last time, may kumalat ng mga Google Forms na pinipirapan daw. Well, definitely, hindi po yun part dito ng EdTech unit. Kaya naman po, we are posting the QR codes na yun po yung ginagamit natin for the evaluation. Then yung Google Forms po natin, ayan po yung nakikita nyo sa baba. That's for the questions. And regarding with the certificates po na makukuhanin nyo, dun lang po sa ating PDLMS.
Yes, parang as information can be easily shared with many people around us, no? We should also exact careful observation of the different forms of the different process we are owing. Kasi we never know. Yung sinasabi nga naman, Glenna, yung identity theft, no? Medyo bago sa pandinig. At hindi lang ito bago kumbaga, bago man sa pandinig, nakakatakot yung epekto kasi hindi mo alam na ninanakawan ka na pala ng identity.
Yes, kaya naman po, dito sa EdTech, we are actually going to have another training for the etiquette, no? So yung etiquette po natin is related to the internet etiquette. And yung po yung tinatawag natin ng etiquettes. Well, actually, these are the do's and don'ts that we have to follow and to observe while you are using your computer as well as yung mga computer labs po natin sa mga schools. And lalong-lalo na po yung ating mga social media accounts. Katulad niya ng sinabi kanina ni Ma'am Glenns, no, kailangan lagi tayo nagpakulit ng password. And definitely, yung mga password po natin, sana hindi yung mga generic, like yung birthday natin, birthday ng anak natin, or ng any loved ones natin. As much as possible, gumamit po tayo ng mga special characters.
Alphanumeric symbols?
Yes, yung mga numbers natin na hindi dapat common. So, para po, at least maprotektahan po natin yung sarili natin, lalo na sa digital world.
Yes, tsaka yung last time na I read the news, no, hindi lang pala common people yung nagiging victim ng identity theft. Pati yung ating mga famous people like the President of America, yung former, no, yung mga celebrities, because they use passwords na alam ng mga tao na very special sa kanila. Example, yung name ng aso nila, yung birthday nila. So, teachers, no, kahit hindi man tayo ganun ka-celebrity, no, we should exact the same careful observation with our passwords. Saka pala, kapatid, nagkakaroon ng problema with regard sa remembering passwords. Sa tingin mo, how can we help our teachers, our audience to remember their passwords? Example, dun sa Commons, dun sa Microsoft, marami nagkakaroon ng issue in remembering their passwords. Can we suggest, habang naghihintay ng questions from Glenna, can we suggest or think of other ways to help our teachers, no, paano nila ma-remember to keep safe their passwords without divulging it or endangering their identity as well?
Well, actually, ako kasi, ang ginagawa ko, number one na ginagawa ko when it comes to password is never ako nagsasave ng password sa cellphones.
Any device?
Yeah, in any device. Siguro kung alam nyo or may ensure ninyo na meron kayong isang bagay na pwedeng pagsulatan ng password na alam nyo secured. Unang-una, hindi nyo siya dinadala everyday. For example, wallet. Diba? Kasi kung nandun yung wallet nyo, nandun yung ATM nyo, nandun din yung password nyo, automatic masisimot kayo niyan. Kaya ako ang ginagawa ko, meron akong parang sa cabinet namin, meron doon isang locker na doon ko sinusulat yung mga password. So, kung meron po kayong mga planner, ganun din po yung pwede nyong gawin. Kaya, ayan. So, huwag po kayo pupunta sa bahay. Kasi hanapin niyo yung planner. So, definitely, kailangan po natin, from time to time, actually, kailangan natin palitan.
Yes.
Di ba? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng password sa wallet, huwag kayong maglagay ng password sa cellphone, kasi itong mga bagay na tumabilis mawala. Lalo na po yung di ba yung sa cellphone sa atin, katulad nito. Tapos, ang sinisiksik natin yung password dito sa case. Ayan. So, pakiingatan po, huwag na huwag mo po yan gagawin.
Yes. Ako, sir, aside from the note-taking of the passwords, no, pag meron akong bagong account sa isang website, sa Microsoft, Adobe, Google, no, ini-email ko yung sarili ko. Para nga naman sa email address, tapos ginagawa ko, ini-store ko yung email. Or kaya, minamark ko as important. Para alam ko na nasa isang category, yung mga passwords, saka mga accounts ko, saka save. Kasi email address ko, hindi basta-basta nabubuksan ng email address, kasi meron siya two-way step verification. Kailangan ng email. Kapag nakalimutan ng password, kailangan i-verify through phone. Diba? So, secure pa din. And it's an easier way, aside from the note-taking ng mga password, that's a very good idea, sir, no? It's also a viable option kung ayaw niyo magsulat. Kasi ibang tao ngayon, ayaw na magsulat. Kasi nga, everything comes handy sa ating mga cellphones.
Yes. Kaya naman po, if you have your partner in life na pwede ninyong pag-share ng inyong mga details, halimbawa yung sa asawa po ninyo or sa anak ninyo, i-share niyo po sa kanila kasi there are times na nakakalimutan din natin, di ba? But definitely, yung mga loved ones natin pwede po ipaalala sa atin. Then another thing, ma'am, no, marami kasi akong napapansin na yung mga sasakyan nila, yung alam mo yung parang human stick na may mga pangalan.
Oo, yung mga daddy din.
Oo, mga ganyan. So, minsan matataka kayo, na-traffic kayo, then all of a sudden, biglang sasabihin, may nangyari sa anak ninyo na ganito pangalan. Tapos matataka kayo, paano nalaman? Kasi nga po, nandun sa likod ng sasakyan ninyo, even yung pangalan ng pets natin. So, as much as possible po, kung hindi naman siya kailangan at sigurado naman kayo that you can secure yourself, siguro, medyo dinidiscourage natin yung paglagay ng mga ganyan, o yung nagagamit nyo, or madaling malaman yung mga pangalan natin, lalo na sa mga lovers.
Parang as much as we would like to personalize our
things,
cars and our things,
oh.
pero nga last time, sure, parang may nabiktima ng tugtog lang kasi nalaman yung mga names ng family members, no? Ang dali lang kasing mag-come up ng situation na talagang alarming and emergency light. Pero yun nga, na good suggestion yung Sir Jeff na please do not divulge information as much as possible. So let's ask the technical director if the questions are now ready. So according to our very good director, it's now ready for presenting to Ma'am Glenna. Ma'am Glenna, ready na?
Hello, ma'am. Welcome back po.
Hi, yes po.
Ayan. So, ready na po ba tayong sumagot ng mga questions since pinakita niyo po kanina ang Miss Universe?
Kaya nga.
Opo. So, we will be posting the questions here na galing po sa ating mga teachers nationwide. Then, we'll give you time to answer po. Don't worry, wala po itong time limit. As long as matatapos po tayo ng 4 o'clock. Okay? Then, for now, meron na po tayong advisory, ma'am, no, before we proceed with the question and answer. Pa-advise po na hold muna ang quizzes from Region 4A1, R5, Region 5-1, Region 1, and Region 2. So, ayan po. Kasi nga po, nakaka-experience po tayo ngayon ng search when it comes dun sa mga information natin. Again, naka-hold po muna yung quizzes for Region 4A-1, Region 5-1, Region 1, and Region 2.
So it means, sir, na since naka-hold yung quizzes nila, they can't access it now yet.
Yes, and hindi pa muna nila makukuha yung mga certificates. Pero it doesn't mean that you are disregarded. No, actually, ma'am, eto kasi mga regions na to, eto yung pinakamaraming population na supporters na EdTech unit natin. Kaya ganyan yung experience natin. But we just would like to remind you na ongoing po yan kahit next week. Pwede po kayong mag-log in para makuha po ang inyong mga certificates. Huwag po kayo mag-alala.
Yes, so don't worry po na ngayon naka-hold pa, pero sooner our team will be working on the site and it will be available soon.
Yes, kasi nga po ang ating PDLMS ay open para sa lahat, di ba? Katulad nga po ng sinabi ko, huwag kayo mag-alala dahil libre ito at welcome ang lahat dito. Kaya nga po, ayan ang experience natin. Hindi kinakaya ng technology ang mga teachers, di ba?
And it goes to say at nagpapatunay ito na really the Department of Education is the biggest department, no, in the government hierarchy. So can we have the first question now, sir?
Yes, so Ma'am Glenna, are you ready?
Yes po.
Okay, so for your first question for the preliminary round, the question is coming from Maria Andres Santiago. From Maria Andres from of Santiago City. I don't know if we are right. So yeah, po. In our department, we are used to submitting files, soft and hard copy, containing our personal information. How sure are we that our data privacy is maintained or protected?
All right. So with that question naman po, kailangan lang po ng communication within the organization. Kasi alam naman po ng lahat that we are bounded with the law on Data Privacy Act. So alam naman po na ng mga tao diyan sa organization na isi-safe keep po nila ng mabuti 'yan. Okay? So kung how sure, syempre alam niyo rin naman po kung kanino lang po kayo nag-share. So alam at alam din niyo lang din naman po kung sino ang pwedeng maglabas ng mga informations na 'yan without your knowing. So kailangan lang po talaga natin kausapin and then alam din naman po and aware din naman po yung organizations that they have to oblige with the law na kailangan pangalagaan nila yung mga data na na-gather po sa inyo.
Thank you, Ma'am Glenna. Now let's proceed to the second question for the easy round. Joke lang po, okay? So this question is from Louis Bengaray of Makizo Maharlika National High School of Bislig City Division. The question is, there are many teachers who are posting certificates such as INSET certificates now. Is posting certificates online against the DPA?
Okay, so actually kasama po yan. Kaya kung aware na po kayo ngayon na hindi po dapat sinishare yung mga certificates online, especially kung may mga digital signatures po yan. At kung gusto nyo man pong i-share yung mga certificates na yan, make sure na dapat po blurred yung mga important informations ninyo dyan, medyo bawasan ninyo, tapos takpan po ninyo yung doon sa may part ng certificates. Okay naman po i-share yan sa social media for as long as you follow yung mga limitations po natin in sharing info. Kasi marami pong informations na pwedeng mag-gather dun sa certificates na yon.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for clarifying that information po. Now we'll proceed to the third question.
Okay, so our third question is from Mary Joyce Hipolito of San Jose National High School, Cabanatuan City. How can we check or validate if the website or organization is legit when they collect data from us through phone call or online?
Very good question.
Ayan. So, thank you for that question. So, guys, sa shinare ko po kanina, yung mga sites na shinare ko po dun sa presentation ko po kanina, you can check actually the URL of those sites kung sa tingin ninyo hindi po siya legit. Now, if you know na hindi po siya legit, so bakit nyo po i-allow? Although, karamihan po kasi sa atin, di ba, pag nag-download po kasi tayo, alam na, nag-prompt na nga sa atin na this may harm your computer, ina-allow natin. So, it's your own choice kung for example, i-allow mo yan. Since na-detect mo na hindi naman po ito safe sa'yo, then dapat hindi mo na po siya pasukin. So, for the applications naman, alam nyo naman na po na mayroong mga maging vigilant lang po actually tayo when installing softwares and applications in our gadgets. Kasi pag nakita nyo po, like for example sa URL na sinabi ko kanina, pag alam ninyong wala po siyang S or yung HTTP, ganun lang po siya, ibig sabihin that website is not secured. So pag nakita nyo naman pong HTTPS po yan, so ibig sabihin, it's safe to use and then the website is secured.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Glenna. No, with the many websites that we access every day, no, we really have to be cautious of the feel and the look of the website. Kung alam din naman natin yung Ma'am Glenna na suspicious, walang mga information about data, walang mga disclaimer about how the organization or the website will handle the data that we will provide to the website. Siguro wag na lang, no?
Yes, well actually katulad niya ang sinabi ni Ma'am Glenna kanina, makapansin natin sa ating mga URL, may nakalagay po din sa taas na HTTP or HTTPS, okay? Ang ibig sabihin kasi nun is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, kaya siya may S, it means secure. So, kaya po, tayo po dapat, whenever we're going to receive emails po ng mga ganito, as much as possible, talaga kailangan natin scrutinize. Yun yung tamang word dun, scrutinize natin isa-isa bago po tayo maglagay ng mga information. Isa sa mga kailangan i-check is logo.
Yes.
Yes. Kasi malalaman mo na legit yung company na yun o yung pinanggalingan ng email na yun kapag ang logo nila ay hindi distorted and of high quality. Isa yun sa mga kailangan nyo i-check. Then another thing, i-double check nyo baka may typographical error.
Yes.
Hindi magkakaroon ng mga typographical error kapag legit yung mga company kasi hindi nila yan gagawin ng mabilisan.
Yes, saka siguro meron silang quality assurance in terms of the information that they will put on the website. So we really have to feel, to scrutinize, and to analyze the information on the website para hindi tayo, or para ma-avoid natin yung mga ganitong pangyayari na may mag-steal ng ating information.
Yes, kaya nga po, i-double check nyo baka may mga typographical errors sa mga companies, sa mga ganyan. Pero, ang typographical error naman po na nakita ninyo sa ating PDLMS is acceptable po. Kaya,
Baka sabihin kasi,
sinabi ni Sir Mark Papa, nagkaroon kasi ng typographical error dun sa quiz. Pero quiz po yun. Ibig sabihin, part na siya ng sentence. Hindi siya pangalan ng isang company, hindi siya address. Kaya po, yun po yung mga kailangan natin i-double check. And, lagi niyo pong katandaan, if eto po mga emails na we provide their address and contact numbers, tawagan niyo po muna kung medyo suspicious po yan.
Or i-check sa Google, i-check kung nakikita yung address, no? Meron tayong mga information about sa mga tao na nasa website para malaman natin. Kasi meron din iba dyan ng mga website na naglalagay lang ng kung ano-anong address, naglalagay lang ng kung ano-anong tao,
Yes.
nagpo-post ng kung ano-anong pictures and providing information. So we have to really, what you said, diba, sir, scrutinize talaga yung isang website.
At saka mamadali din mapansin, like for example sa color. Alam po natin, di ba nakita nyo naman po, yung fields namin dito sa EdTech unit, we are using blue. Di ba? Halos lahat yata ng shades ng blue nilagay na rin ni Sir Lil Article isa sa ating mga designs. Kaya po nung may lumabas na attendance ng Educational Technology Unit ng P, parang nakakapagtaka kasi never pong gumamit ang EdTech unit ng pink. And kung gagamit man po kami ng pink, kaya i-inform po namin kasi kukumpletuhin natin yung Power Rangers. Pero since wala tayong plano ngayon, nagpo-focus po tayo sa blue dahil yan po ang kulay ng EdTech unit.
Yes, that's the branding po of EPU. So please, no, aside from all the things that we have said, no, also be careful with the aesthetic of the websites or of the forms that we are answering. Now, sir, for the third question, right?
Okay, so we'll now proceed to our fourth question.
And this is your question now from Mr. Romeo Vermas Jr. of Calasiao Comprehensive National High School, Pangasinan 1. Are teachers requiring students to turn on their webcam during online class violating the Data Privacy Act?
Okay. So, actually, hindi naman po ganun na violation. Kung for example naman, you have an agreement with the parents in your school na pwede, pero wag po nating pilitin yung mga bata actually in opening their webcams. So, okay lang naman po mag-open ng webcams kung for example, you ask the consent of the students, and then kung okay lang din po sa mga parents na ganun yung nangyari, and kung hindi nyo naman po yan i-share over our social media platforms, it's within you, okay lang naman po yon. But ang hindi po pinapayagan ng DPA po dyan is once you share those videos and photos over our social media platforms, tapos nakikita pa yung informations ng mga bata, yun po yung violation.
So yun, thank you very much, ma'am. No? So we'll proceed directly na po to our fifth and last question. Opo, para makapag-change na po kayo ng evening gown. Na tayo. Okay, so the question is from Sir Crisanto Tito Meldat of Urdaneta City National High School. Ayan, Region 1. Karami ng question sa atin, Region 1.
So, yun po yung mga teachers ng Region 1.
Opo, so the question, ma'am, is what parameters and guidelines on how to get the details and personal information of an individual, including what to require to be disclosed?
Okay. So, dito naman sa question na to, for instances in the guidelines. So, before you create something, for example, yung forms po natin, kailangan pinagpaplanuhan nyo po muna kung ano lang po dapat yung kailangan nyo pong i-gather na information. Kasi kung for example, school activity lang po naman yan, kailangan pa po ba malaman kung married na ang parents mo or whatsoever. So, for the guidelines, it's up to you. Although, you can also refer from the National Privacy Commission. So, meron din pong informations nun kung ano lang, nakita nyo rin naman po kanina yung slides ko po kanina na dapat, pwede naman po tayo actually mag-collect ng informations basta adequate lang dun sa purpose natin and not excessive. So, yung principle of proportionality po natin, kailangan po natin isipin yun lagi.
Okay, this is a very comprehensive question, no? So let me restate the question. So what should be the parameters and guidelines to get the details and personal information of individuals, including what to report to be disclosed?
What specific information to be disclosed?
Yes. What do you think, Sir Jen?
Sa disclosure naman, wala naman pong for as long na yun lang po talaga yung purpose mo. So, pwede mong i-disclose yan. Pero kung for example, it's in your agreement na meron po kayong non-disclosure, dapat po hindi nyo po ilabas yun.
Yes, kaya naman po, di ba, as much as possible kapag nagsasagot din tayo sa mga data. Like for example, yung mga, pagpupunta ka ngayon sa mga malls or sa mga groceries, di ba, meron tayo yung parang contact tracing. Diba? So, dapat alam natin kung anong part doon yung mga dapat sagutan natin. Pero kung tatanungin doon yung ATM account number mo, kung sino yung crush mo, favorite color mo, feeling ko those questions are actually irrelevant. Oo, paslambok na yun natin. Kaya, pwede siguro na lampasan natin yung mga ganun. And another thing po, Ma'am Glens, no? I think ang bawat SDO po natin, meron po tayong mga legal officers. Yan. So, dear teachers, huwag po kayong mag-alala na huwag po kayong mag-alala na kapag medyo alangan po kayo sa isang bagay katulad niyan, yung mga questions na binigay sa atin, huwag po kayong maging hesitant na magtanong sa inyong mga legal officers. Okay?
Kaya nga hindi ko rin sabi ng commercial, huwag mahihiyang magtanong, especially on these matters na technical talaga, and we need someone who's really into the field, no? Working in the field para mas ma-clarify at mas sure tayo, no? Para hindi lang tayo ma-technical with the information that we are providing.
Yes, kaya naman po, if ever may mga questions po kayo regarding with that, no? Itap po natin ang ating mga legal officers sa ating mga SDOs. Ayan.
Yes, pero we are very thankful to Ma'am Glenna for sharing us this Data Privacy Act this afternoon. Thank you, Ma'am Glenna, and see you. Okay, so we will be proceeding now to our second speaker, sir.
Yes, and later on po, ipopost po namin yung QR code and yung link kung paano po natin i-evaluate ang ating mga speakers.
Yes.
So now we'll proceed po with our next speaker. Our next speaker graduated at pamantasan ng lungsod ng Muntinlupa as a scholar of the Scholar ng Bayan, taking up bachelor in secondary education major in mathematics. He then finished his master's degree major in educational management, maintaining his scholarship as a Scholar ng Bayan. Though busy as he is, He is now working on his final dissertation. The paper with 54 units completed for his doctoral degree at the Eulogio Amang Rodriguez Institute of Science and Technology, or IRIS, in General Mariano Alvarez Cavite campus. He enjoys sharing his knowledge and skills to his students and co-workers. That is why he has invested most of his time completing short courses like electronic service technician, basic computer, advanced computer, website designs, computer hardware servicing, and computer system servicing. He has been working in the Department of Education for 15 years. He spent 8 years of his teaching as an elementary mathematics teacher in Kupang Elementary School, Maine, as a mathematics teacher in Muntinlupa National High School, Tunasan Annex, and 2 years as one of the educational technology specialists in the Department of Education under Information and Communication Technology Services.
Our speaker for today also taught as a part-time professor at Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Muntinlupa, handling educational technology and National Service Training Program, or NSTP, subjects for 2 years. Some of his accomplishments and achievements are the following. First, national speaker and trainer in open educational resources in the regional, division, and school-wide trainings. Second, Google Certified Educator for Levels 1 and Level 2. Third, Microsoft Education Ambassador. Fourth, National Service Training Program, or NSTP Top 3 Implementer. Fifth, creation of offline e-library in Barangay Tunasan and schools. He was also awarded as an outstanding NSTP implementer at the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Muntinlupa, as he was also recognized as one of the outstanding alumni of Muntinlupa National High School. Would you believe that he also took up basic training course and advanced training in scouting? As a Wood Badge holder, he shares his expertise as speaker and trainer to the Boy Scouts of the Philippines in national, regional, council, and schools. He was capped as an ambassador of Quipper School, Philippines, another online site for education. All these credentials definitely made him as an outstanding citizen of Muntinlupa. We're very proud to present our second presenter for today, Sir Sherwin Gonzalez Lumeda.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you, Sir Jeff and Ma'am May, for that introduction. Would like to thank you lahat po ng mga viewers na nanonood po ngayon. I know up to this point in time, still you try to choose to learn, and kahit na alam niyo na from morning, alam ko napaka-hectic ng schedule niyo sa bawat division, but still naririto pa rin po kayo sa last part ng ating Day 3 INSET. So again, thank you po sa lahat ng teachers, division, regions na nakatutok po sa ating virtual INSET ngayong 2021. So may topic na i-share po sa inyo is something to do with not really a theories na katulad ng mga presentation na ginawa natin from day 1 hanggang sa kanina, puro theories kasi yung mga napag-aaralan natin. So something to do with what ourselves na siguro time naman na alamin natin kung nasa na ba tayo, or let's think of something na how can we be of help to others na talagang makakatulong po sa ating departamento at sa ibang tao na rin. But before that, I would like to say thank you po kay Yusek Aling Del Pascua, yan ang ating head dito, sa aming director, Ibram YC Abanil. Thank you po. Sa aming pong chief, Sir Mark Anthony CC. Yan. At ito po, actually, he's my mentor in this training, Sir Rich Paredes, the chairman of Fire.net, na kung saan yung materials na ginamit ko actually came from him, and then it really helped me a lot in doing my professional tasks in life, at the same time in helping people. At the same time, my EdTech family, thank you sa EdTech family for the support and trust, at sa lahat ng tao na bumubuo ng INSET na to. So this is all about solving people puzzle. So something that is really different from our training sa mga INSET na ginagawa natin. Again, my name is Sherwin Gonzalez Lumeda from the Division of Muntinlupa. So hello po sa mga teachers from Muntinlupa, SDO Muntinlupa. So first thing to do is to discover yourself. Okay? So ano nga ba yung mga bagay na meron ka? Okay? So, let's focus also on building stronger relationship, which is very important. In this situation, lagi nating ginugol dapat yung tinatawag na win-win solution. Understanding yourself, kasi sometimes nakakalimutan mo na, kumbaga parang from the very start na nag-work ka dito sa departamento, so nasaan ka na ba? Or ano na ba yung understanding mo sa sarili mo? Valuing yourself and others, syempre, mamaya i-discuss ko yan kung how to value yourself and others, syempre na naging reason kung bakit ikaw, yung mga teachers sa kasama mo, yung iba na po-promote, and then yung iba po doon is asking help na sana rin ma-promote din po sila. At the same time, humihingi at lumalapit din ng tulong sa atin. And then, how are you going to develop your versatility in those ideas na ibibigay ko po, i-share ko po sa inyo. Okay, so we have different personality styles. So according to this quadrant, we have D, I, S, and C. So those are the personality styles na meron tayo, yung tinatawag natin na DISC. So ano nga bang meron dito sa personality styles? So let's understand yourself muna. Start muna tayo dito. So discover your unique strength and weaknesses. So mostly yung iba kasi, they focus on your strength and do more of it. And then, sa second, convert your weaknesses to make it your strength. So sometimes yung iba kasi puro strength lang talaga. Okay? So they forget na may weakness pala sila. So nagiging part 'yon na sometimes sobrang tingin mo sa sarili mo na parang wala ka ng weakness, parang yun na yung pinaka-side na encounter mo na bigla ka na down. Okay? So let's maximize your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. So later on, di-discuss natin tong bagay na to. So understanding yourself, the high D style or what you call the dominant. Okay, ano nga ba tong dominant style na to? So meron tayong tinatawag na positive part, which is the tinatawag natin na strength ng isang dominant style or type of person. So check niyo po kung nasaan po kayo dito sa DISC. So sa dominant, they always accept challenges or challenge always accepted pag dominant. They decide quickly. They finish things all the time. And then, self-reliant, mataas masyado yan. Persistent, practical problem solver ang mga dominant. Then, self-assertive, lagi siyang assert. Works hard. And then, yung negative part niya or yung tinatawag natin na weakness part ni dominant style is they are controlling. Impatient, so masyadong mababa ang kanyang pasensya. Or inattentive, inflexible, so nahihirapan siyang mag-adjust. Insensitive to others. Restrictions, so laging yan, may restrictions. Okay, so mahina siya doon. Too demanding, so that style of person, check nyo yung sarili nyo, may mga positive ba or negative ba na style na nagagawa nyo sa inyong buhay? So try to assess yourself. And then sabi dito, dominant. Sabi daw, si dominant, I am a person who loves challenges. Yan yung mga taong gusto lagi ng challenge, yung extra challenge. Okay? I will not stop in accomplishing my goals. So sometimes mapapansin natin yan sa mga tao na kumbaga ang nangyari sa kanila, bakit ito ayaw mag-break? Okay? So bakit ito gabi na nagtatrabaho pa? Because they want to accomplish their goal na talagang sinet nila. So they are dominant type of person. And sabi nila, I live with this rule. I'll do it my way. So that's why dominante siya talaga. So that's why I'll do it my way. So that's dominant. So ano naman yung the high I style or the influential type of person? So ito yung kanyang positive part or the strength. They are entertaining. Mapapansin niyo yan, mahilig siya sa entertainment. Yan, lagi tanong niya na, pag may kasiyahan, yan. Enthusiastic, lagi silang masiyahin. So makikita mo sa isang celebration, lagi ang masaya. Okay? Makes a good impression. Okay? Friendly, ayan. So ayan yung mga maraming kaibigan, yung mga influential na tao. So kung marami kang kaibigan, ayan. So under kanitong influential, personable. Next, persuasive, optimistic, verbally articulate. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Sila yung madaldal. Okay? So, minsan, sila yung laging bida. Okay? So, makikita mo yan sa isang nagkukumpulang mga tao. Siya yung talagang kwento ng kwento. So, siya yung influential type of person. So, ano naman yung weakness niya? Always conclude. So, hindi pa natatapos, may conclusion na agad. Okay? Impulsive. Last follow through. Kumbaga, nag-start lang siya and then kailangan mo ba i-follow up para, uy, natapos mo na ba tong trabaho na to? Oh, di ba? So, lagi mo siyang sinasabihan. Misjudges. So, parang yun yung minsan nangyayari na parang don't judge the book by its cover. So, nangyayari sa kanya. Yan. Overcommit. So, yung commitment, sabi niya, sige, nag-commit. Tapos later on, hindi mo na mapansin kung nasaan na. Nag-commit na sasama or nag-commit na mag-share or nag-commit na magpe-present, then later on, nawala. Overestimates results. So, yan. So, masyado siyang mag-estimate, okay, ito yung magiging resulta niyan. Yan. Talkative. Ayan, yung sabi ko kanina sa inyo, no? Masyado siyang madaldal. Okay? And verbally manipulative. So, ano ibig sabihin yan? So, sila yung minsan kwento ng kwento, sometimes over na yung pagkukwento niya. So, minsan may limit na siya na naikwento na hindi niya dapat naikwento. So, that's the influential style. So, ano daw yung influential? I am a person who is funny all the time. So, masiyahin to. Madali mo siyang ma-identify. So, sa isang team or sa inyong school or yung mga kasama mo sa organization, makikita mo siya, lagi siyang masaya. Okay? So, siguro, may side ako na influential, ano? So, kasi always, ayan, nasa side ako na ganyan. I exist to be happy and make other people happy. So, siya yung kailangan ng mga tao na minsan na down. So, kailangan siya yung makausap mo, no? Kasi pasasayahin kanya lagi, no? Sa mga kaibigan mo. So, siya yung lagi nagpapasaya sa iyo. So, I live with this rule. Don't worry, be happy. Di ba? Sabi ko nga lagi sinasabi kay Ma'am Joy, happy, be happy. Okay? So, next one is understanding the S style or what you call the steady. So, ano yung strength niya, yung positive side niya? Agreeable. So, madali siyang mag-agree. Okay. So, may napag-usapan, agree agad. Okay? So, builds relationship. So, ito, magaling tong mag-build ng relationship. If you want to have this kind of friends or nung talagang solid friends, you go for S-style type of person kasi they build relationship. Okay? Then, consistent siya. So, pag binigyan mo siya ng isang trabaho, then na-achieve niya yon, consistently he's going to repeat it again and again. So, consistent yung kanyang trabaho or yung kanyang ginagawa. Or kung halimbawa may meeting kayo, consistent siya, hindi nalilate. Okay? So, dependable. So, always depend to others. Okay? Good listener. So, sila yung mga type of person na halimbawa, nag-start kayong magkwentuhan ng morning, hanggang gabi nagkukwentuhan kayo. So, hindi siya aalis hanggat may kakwentuhan siya kasi he or she is a good listener. Loyal. Ayan, ang ganda ng personality ng steady, no? Loyal, napaka-loyal niya. And reliable. Ayan. Service-oriented. Ang ganda, di ba po? Ayan, yung mga talagang pagka sinabi namin service. First lagi, service. Okay? So, ayan. Then, supportive. So, sila yung mga kaibigan na very supportive kapag nag-decision ka. O example, sa isang team, may isang gagawing project, very supportive siya dun sa iyong project. Okay? Kaya lang, ito yung kanyang weakness or the negative part ng steady. Avoid conflicts, ayaw niya ng gulo. Okay? So, makikita mo yan, pag nagkakagulo na, nakikita mo yan sa isang tabi o kaya umaalis yan. Parang halimbawa, may nagkakagulo na, makikita mo yan, lumalayo na yan unti-unti. Sila yung mga steady. Okay? Difficulty with deadlines. So, ito, wag mo itong bibigyan ng deadlines. Kasi nahihirapan silang magpasa ng deadlines sa trabaho na bibigyan mo. O may mga friends kayong ganyan, o co-teachers kayo na ganyan, na steady, huwag nyo silang bibigyan ng deadlines. Kasi sigurado yung buong team nyo, hindi makakapagpasa ng report. Okay? Indecisive. Okay, so hirap siyang mag-decide. Okay? Indirect with others. So ayaw niya nung directly may kakausapin. Kumbaga parang nangyayari dito, gusto niya munang makipag-usap sa iba and then sasabihin niya sa iba. Okay? Parang ganun yung sistema niya. Lacks initiative. Ayaw niya na nagsisimula ng isang bagay. Okay? So gusto niya, kaya nga agreeable siya. Pag sinabi ng isa na, okay, ganito yung gagawin nating plano, agree lang siya ng agree. Hindi siya mag-i-initiate ng kahit na ano. Hindi siya mangunguna. Susunod lang siya ng susunod. Okay? Overly tolerant, sorry. Okay? Then procrastinates and resist quick change. So hindi sa kanya pwede yung, halimbawa may project tayo ngayon, may isa na naman tayong project na gagawin. Nako, wag mo siyang gagawin ng ganung bagay kasi bakit? Ang mangyayari, kumbaga nakapokus kasi ako dito, wag mo muna akong guluhin. Meron pa akong isang focus dito na hindi ko natatapos. So wag muna, next na lang yan, saka na pag natapos ko na to. So this is the S style or the steady. So ano daw si steady? I am a person who is calm and stable. So ibig sabihin, kalmado lang yan. Pag binigyan mo yan ng isang couch, uupo yan dyan. Pagbalik mo, nadyan pa rin yan. Kasi kalmadong-kalmado siya at stable na stable siya doon sa isang upuan. Lalo na kung halimbawa, sobrang lambot ng upuan. Nako, iwan mo yan ng umaga, pagbalik mo, nadyan pa rin yan. Okay? No pressure. Okay, so ayaw niya yan. No pressure at all. Even if the world was coming to an end, I'd like to keep it cool. So lagi siyang cool na cool. Chill lang, guys. Chill lang. I live with this rule. I am a peacemaker. So maganda siyang kasama, no? Kasi peacemaker siya. Kung baga kung nagkakagulo na, wala siyang pakialam doon sa kaguluhan. Ang gagawin niya, peace, guys. Peace lang tayo. Wala tayo dapat kaguluhan. So maganda rin siyang kasama sa team. Kasi kung sakaling meron na kayong information na hindi mapagkaintindihan, so siya yung magsasabi, oh guys, cool lang kayo, ha? Chill lang tayo. Okay? So kasi siya ang peacemaker. So this is a steady type of person. So let's go now to C style or what you call the corrective. Okay? At sino naman si corrective? Ano naman yung strength niya or the positive side of this corrective style? Analytical. So sobrang mag-anal. Okay, committed to quality. Yan. So ayaw niya ng simpleng pinasa mo lang na isang halimbawa may project kayo or meron kayong reports na ipapasa, i-check niya ng maigi yan, busisi. Teka lang, quality ko muna to. Kung maganda to, baka may mga pages dyan na mga nakatupi, okay, may mga pages dyan na lukot, teka lang, papalitan natin yan. Kailangan quality. Competent. Ayan, maganda tong kasama. Very competent to. And diplomatic. Ayan. Then, orderly. Kumbaga parang halimbawa, meron tayong isang meeting. Teka lang, sino yung nakaupo dyan? Ayusin natin kung sino yung mga nakaupo dyan. Sino yung magpe-present? Ano yung program? Patingin ako. Dapat orderly. Okay? So, dapat nakaayos lahat. And then, precise. Okay? So, parang nangyayari dito, no? Parang sinabi niya, dapat gantong mangyayari. Precise dapat. Okay? So, parang nangyayari, walang option B or option C. Option A lang dapat lagi. Self-discipline. Sobrang disiplina nito sa sarili. Okay? Thorough. Pero ang weakness naman niya or the negative side of this is cautious. Okay? Fault finder. So, makikita mo, kasi nga corrective siya, so ang hinahanap niya yung mali. Okay? So, minsan, sa weakness niya, lagi siyang hanap ng mali. Okay? So, fault finder. Lacks spontaneity. Okay? Pessimistic. Sensitive to criticism. So, wag mo tong i-criticize. Wag. Kasi corrective siya. Suspicious sa mga nangyayari. Too rigid. And too detail-oriented. So, masyado siyang detalyado. So, that's why yun yung kanyang weakness side. Okay? So, si corrective daw ay, I am a person who love to be corrected. Kasi nga corrective. I notice every minute details as I meticulously monitor life using 3D lenses. Ang bangis nito, no? Talagang bawat kilos mo, bawat sinasabi mo, no? Parang naka 3D lenses siya. While everyone else are content viewing in 2D. So kung baga parang, ito na yung nakikita ng iba. Siya hindi. So ang nakikita niya, yung mas detailed na part pa. So every walk, every yung position or motion mo, every words na binabanggit mo, si corrective laging nakaabang sa'yo. Okay? So siguro may mga kasama tayo sa ating department or sa ating school or group or team na makikita mo laging nakakorek, no? Lagi siyang teka lang. Wait lang. Teka, kukorek ko lang yan. Wait lang. Okay, siya yung taong corrective. So let's understand and value the high D style. So i-value nga natin to and understand nga natin sila. So, paano natin mamamotivate itong mga D style? O, ang basic motivations lang sa kanila para magtrabaho sila, sabihin mo, result, and you challenge them. So, sabihin mo, okay, gawa tayo isang project, bigyan nyo ako ng magandang result, and I want to challenge you all na bigyan ko kayo ng deadline. Ayan. So, mamamotivate natin maigi si dominante. So, ano siya masyado? Masyado siyang mapapakilos niyan. Mabilis. Best situation, continual challenges. Challenge mo lang siya na i-challenge. Freedom to act. Kasi nga, dominante siya. So, siya gusto niya parang bossy type siya, no? And then, variety. So, hayaan mo lang siya. Okay? Hayaan mo lang siyang mag-act na mag-act yan. Mapapagod din yan. Okay? Accepts and rejects. So, anong ina-accept niya? Accepts the difficult. Okay? So, gusto niya yung mahihirap at mga komplikadong bagay. Ano naman ang nire-reject niya? Yung inaction. Okay? Next, ang major strength niya naman is get things done. Kailangan tapusin agad natin yan. Binigyan mo ng deadline, tapusin natin sa deadline na yan. No more extension. Decisive, and then persistent siya sa lahat ng ginagawa niya. So, kaya yun yung kanyang major strength. So, dyan tayo mag-focus minsan sa mga D. Magaling yan. Okay? Major strength niya kasi yan. Okay? Ano naman yung kanyang major weaknesses? So, mahina naman siya dito. Insensitive to others. So, sometimes nakakasakit na siya ng ibang tao. Okay? So, hindi niya napapansin yan. Actually, hindi niya napapansin yan. Kasi nga, dominante siya. Then, impatient siya sa mga nangyayari. Okay? Overlooks risk and facts. So, masyado siyang doon sa bagay na risk and facts. Then, inflexible. Ayaw niya ng, halimbawa, nagplano na tayo. Dito lang tayo. Okay? Then, unyielding. Okay? Behavior under tension. Okay, pag na-tension, binigyan mo ng tension, ano mangyayari? Controlling and autocratic. Itong D style. Okay? So, they are controlling and autocratic type of person. Okay? Next, would benefit from, ayan. So, dapat minsan, itong mga dominant or D style, dapat nakikinig din minsan. Hindi yung banat lang ng banat kasi sa pagiging dominant niya, gusto niya, masyado siya kinokontrol niya lahat, tapos ako dapat lahat. So, try to listen first, okay? Makinig din minsan, okay? So, let's go now to I style. So, paano natin ma-understand and mabavalue itong mga I style? Basic motivation sa kanila, yes. Recognize them. Ayan. So, yan yung mga tao na mahilig sa recognition. So, mapapagalaw mo sila ng maigi. Try to recognize them always. So, may nagawa silang isang bagay na maganda, recognize them. And then, approval, o gustong-gusto nila ng approval. Okay? Best situation, new and exciting opportunities. Ayan. So, bigyan mo siya ng new opportunities para at least gumagalaw siya. So, which is very important, lalo na sa DepEd. So, napaka-importante nito kasi sometimes, hindi natin napapansin itong mga style na to. Freedom from control and detail. And opportunity to motivate others. Okay? So dapat din pala, tinutulungan din natin sila na mag-motivate ng ibang tao. Kasi influential nga sila eh. They influence people, di ba? So ayan, dyan sila magaling. So try to maximize this situation. Okay? Next. Ano ba yung ina-accept nitong I style? Accepts involvement with others. So, hindi siya pwedeng mag-isa. I-involve mo siya sa ibang tao. Kasi bakit? Rejects isolation. Naku, pag iniwalay mo to, malungkot na si I. Kasi bakit ako lang narito, na doon sila, iniwalay ako. Okay? So, nananahimik siya sa isang tabi. Bawal mong gawin kay influential yan. Kasi gustong-gusto niya nga yung nagmamotivate at nagjo-join sa ibang tao. Okay? Major strength. Optimistic, personable, and enthusiastic. Okay? Sila yung makikita mo talaga. Agad, obvious na obvious. Okay? Next, major weaknesses niya. Oversells. So, dahil nga masyadong masyado siyang mag-motivate, na oversells niya ng isang bagay. Okay? Manipulates others verbally. So, ayan. Yun yung medyo pangit dyan sa I-style. Ano? Kasi namamanipulate niya. Sometimes, may na-encounter kayong ganyan, no? May sinabi, tapos biglang iba pala yung sinabi nito, no? Okay? Lacks follow through. So, ayan. So, mahina sila dyan sa part na yan. Okay? Next, behavior under tension, attack. Huwag mong aatakihin itong I-style. So, okay, medyo ayaw nila niyan, yung ina-atake. Ayaw nila nang binabato sila. Okay? Next, would benefit from, okay, so dapat itong mga I-style, minsan mag-post ka din. Okay, so wag yung rat-rat lang ng rat-rat. Okay, banat lang ng banat. Okay, or always talking too much. Okay, mag-post ka rin minsan. Bigyan mo naman ng break yung sarili mo, then hayaan mo naman maka-enter yung iba na mag-share ng ideas nila. O kaya, kumbaga parang hayaan mo namang iba magkwento. Hindi yung pag-meet natin ngayon, ikaw na naman ang bida, di ba? Then, pursuing. Okay? Next, let's go to S-style. Okay? So, ano bang yung motivation nito? Uy, relationship. So, friends. Ayan. Si S-style, gusto niya ng mga friends. Kasi nga steady siya. Okay? Kailangan natin ng maraming friends. And appreciation. Okay? So, kailangan na-appreciate mo lagi. Wow, galing naman ito. Galing ng trabaho mo. Good job. Ayan. Siya yun. Ang sarap i-motivate niyan. Yung mga S-style. Okay? Best situation, opportunity to serve others. So, sabihin mo sa kanya, okay, magkakaroon tayo ng isang feeding program. Okay? So, let's serve others. Okay, sasama agad si S-style. Okay? Stable and predictable. Okay, so napaka-stable and predictable. Alam mo na mangyayari. Pag yan, iniwan mo dyan, kinausap mo ngayong umaga, pagbalik mo, nadyan pa rin yan. Mag-aantay pa rin yan ng kwentuhan. Okay? Friendly. Okay? Gusto niya. Kailangan marami siyang friends. Okay? And peaceful environment. Okay? So dahil nga, siya yung type of person na gusto niya, ayaw niya ng gulo. Diba? Peacemaker nga siya. Gusto niya peaceful environment. Okay? Ayaw niya ng gulo. Parang pag may nagkakarayot na, makikita mo siya yung wala na doon. Okay? Pero kasama mo siya kanina. Okay? Ano yung ina-accept nito? Accept friendship. So pag inapera mo siya ng friendship, syempre, oo siya agad. Kasi gusto niya friends. Okay? Ayaw niya naman ng conflict. Okay? Kumbaga pag nagkakagulo na, okay, exit na tayo. Okay? So siya yung S-style. Major strength, very supportive tong mga tao na to. So kung kailangan nyo ng isang tao na susupport sa isang program o isang project na gagawin nyo, hanapin nyo lang si S-style. Kasi bakit? Siya yung mag-a-agree agad sa project mo. At loyal siya hanggang sa matapos ang project nyo. Okay? Major weaknesses niya. Indirect with others. Yan. Mahina siya dyan. Resist quick change. So, huwag diyang pabago-bago. Huwag mong binigyan mo ngayon ng task, bibigyan mo na naman later on ng task, huwag mong gagawin sa kanya. And then, overly tolerant. Huwag yung mga yan. Okay? Behavior under tension, timid. Huwag mo siyang bibigyan ng ganyang experience. Okay? Naku, ayaw niya yan. Ayaw ni S-style niyan. Would benefit from initiating. So that's why agree lang siya ng agree kasi eh. So dapat itong mga S-style, dapat sometimes nag-start ka rin, nag-initiate ka rin ng isang project o kaya nagsasuggest ka rin. Okay, para at least ma-develop yung skills mo, kailangan mag-initiate ka rin. Sabi mo, pwede bang ako naman yung manguna? Okay? Pwede ba akong mag-suggest? Ayan. So, dapat ganun. Hindi yung nakatahimik ka lang. Tapos agree ka lang ng agree. Tapos, pag nag-iwahiwalay na kayo, tapos sasabihin mo sa sarili mo, ay, dapat pala nag-suggest ako. Okay? So, sila yung mga S-style. So, mag-initiate naman minsan, ha? Okay? How about letter C or the C-style, understanding and valuing them? How? Basic motivation to be right. Ayan. And quality. So, kailangan bibigyan mo lang siya ng ganyang opportunity. Okay, so paano ba magiging tama yung isang trabaho natin? Yan. Tapos, ito bang gagawin natin? Ano ba yung magiging output natin dito? Okay, siya mag-iisip agad dyan, si corrective. Okay, dapat ganito. Okay, ito kasi yung lalabas dyan sa project natin, sa program na gagawin natin. Pulidong-pulido yan. Yan. So, siya yun. Okay, best situation, clearly defined. So, what is the goal of the team or what will be the output of the team? So, dapat sabihin mo na agad. Tapos, limited risk. So, dapat hindi gaanong risky. Okay? And then, requires attention to detail. So, that's why, kumbaga parang, part by part. Ayan, diyan siya magaling. Kumbaga parang pag binigyan mo siya ng isang, o pag nagplano kayo, so siya yung magandang bigyan ng program. Bakit? Detalyado siya masyadong gumawa ng program. O alam nyo na yun ha, sa mga schools nyo, alam nyo na kung sino yung mga tao na gano'n, no? Masyadong detalyado sa program. They accept methods and structure. Kasi nga dahil corrected sila, so ano ba yung method na gagawin natin? And then, bigyan mo ako ng structure paano natin ma-achieve to. And then, they reject lack of quality. So, kung halimbawa, pag napansin nila na yung magiging output ng isang project nyo o yung isang presentation nyo hindi maganda, ayaw niya yan. Okay? Major strength, orderly. Ayan. So, pag mag-organize, yung organize na organize, example sa graduation, di ba? Minsan makikita mo, orderly yung setup, no? Maayos na maayos siya. So, ang galing nun. Kasi bakit? Corrective siya. Thorough and analytical. So, kasi nga sabihin niya, okay, ito yung flow ng program natin. Dito papasok yung mga bisita, dito papasok yung mga parents, mga students. So, yan. So, maganda siyang magplano ng isang program. Okay? Yung mga corrective. Major weaknesses niya. Lacks spontaneity, too detailed, and too cautious. Okay? So, medyo, yan ang problema niya. So, ano siya, kumbaga, sobrang detalyado niya, ubus na yung oras. Okay? Ubus na yung oras, wala nang natapos. Sa dami na ng plano. Kumbaga, parang nag-start siya ng 7 a.m., kapaplano nyo, 7 p.m. na, hindi pa kayo nag-uuwian. Di ba? So, siya yun. Yun ang problema sa kanya kasi too detailed siya. Okay? Next one, behavior under tension, avoid. Okay? So, ina-avoid niya yung mga bagay na hindi maganda. Okay? So, wag niyo siyang bibigyan ng mga ganyang scenario. And would benefit. Paano siya mag-benefit? Declaring. Okay? So, ano yung declaring? Sometimes you need to declare na, okay, sige, siguro may mga magaganda kayong idea na, okay, alam ko may mali ako, so baka pwede nyo akong tulungan. O yan. Sometimes you need to declare na nagkakamali ka din. Okay? So, it will be very helpful para sa isang team. Okay? So, let's focus now on developing your versatility. So, what is versatility? So, being willing and able to adapt your personal style to meet the needs of others. Very important kasi, syempre, di ba, sabi nga nila, hindi ka naman makakatapos ng isang bagay kung ikaw lang. Halimbawa, magtatayo ka ng isang building, mag-isa ka lang eh. It's very impossible for you to build this building, di ba? You're going to put a project or set up a project. Hindi pwedeng ikaw lang, di ba? Ikaw lang yung gagawa. So, you need to do and use this versatility technique na yung personality style mo, magamit mo rin sa pangangailangan ng ibang tao. Okay, so let's practice versatility with others. So, paano nga ba yun? So, step 1, identify their personal style by observation. Ano ba siya? Di ba siya? Ay ba siya? S ba siya? Or C ba siya? Okay, so yun yung unang-unang titingnan mo. Next, focus on their relational needs. Okay, so ano ba yung kailangan niya? Okay? Next, develop a positive attitude about their style. So, since sa pag-aralan na natin kanina, ano ba yung attitude na gagamitin ko para at least ma-win-win ko siya? Okay? Or yung team. Okay? Identify ways your style might cause tension for them. So, kung alam mo naman, create siya ng tension, so try to do something else. Okay? So, and then, step 5, take versatility steps to meet their needs. Para at least magsalubong kayo and then you go along in doing such tasks or project. Okay? So, identify personal styles by observation. Laging mag-o-observe ka. Okay? Very important yan. So, sa isang gathering o isang team, actually, yung kaninang minention ko, ma-identify mo na agad kung B, I, S, or C ba siya, di ba? So, relational needs. How to communicate with a D. Paano ka raw makikipag-usap sa D or dominant? B, direct. Gusto niya direct to the point. Pag nag-usap kayo, anong kailangan ko, anong gagawin natin, direct to the point. How to convince? Sabihan mo siya, what? What are we going to do? Okay? Kasi nga, dominante siya. So, what? What ang itanong mo? Okay? How to motivate? Bigyan mo ng goal at quantity. Sabihin guys, ano ba yung goal natin? Bakit ba natin gagawin or bakit ba tayo mag-start ng isang project or program? Ano yung goals na gusto kong makuha? And then yung quantity is the number ng success, kung malaki ba yung success na pwede natin magawa after accomplishing this task. And then, how to disagree with a D. So, paano ka raw mag-disagree? Agree with their goal plus test them. So, magasakyan mo muna siya. Okay, sige, ano ba yung plano mo? Sige, go. And then after that, test mo kung kaya niyang ma-achieve. Pag na-achieve niya, okay. Okay, pag hindi, ngayon, that's the test. Okay, so you can give, okay, options na. Okay, pero dapat siya nga muna kasi dominante siya. How to communicate with an I? Be enthusiastic. Maging masaya ka lang daw. Okay? Magmamatch agad kayo niyan. Okay? And then who? Okay? Dahil nga influential siya, sabihin mo lang, sino ba yung mga kasama natin sa project na yan? Okay? Next, people and recognition. Para ma-motivate mo siya, kailangan may tao. Hindi pwedeng dalawa lang kayo. Okay? Sino ba yung mga taong involved? And then, i-recognize mo siya in accomplishing this task or project. Paano naman tayo magdi-disagree sa kanya? Agree with their vision last time. So, ano ba yung vision niya na nakikita niya? Okay? So, mag-disagree ka kung nakikita mo na hindi maganda yung vision. And then yung time, dahil nga mahina siya sa pagpapasa o pagsasubmit ng output, so dapat mag-disagree ka, okay, dapat gantong time tayo. Dapat. Okay? Pero dapat yung process mo ng pag-disagree sa kanya, ano din dapat? Maayos din dapat. Okay? So next, how to communicate with an S, okay, or steady person. Be friendly. Operan mo lang siya ng friendship. Okay? How to convince an S, a steady person. Why? Okay, sabihin mo lang sa kanya, why? Ano nga ba? Ano nga ba yung gagawin natin? Okay? Ano nga ba yung why? Ano yung reason? Diba? Why do we need to do this? Okay? How to motivate? Same with I. So, kailangan may taong involved and then meron ding recognition. Okay? How to disagree? Focus on the relationship. So, sometimes nga, si Steady kasi lagi siyang hindi siya nagtatrabaho ng siya lang. Okay? Gusto niya nga kasi maraming tao, friends dapat. So, mostly ang nangyayari sa kanya, puro relationship lang siya ng relationship. Walang goal na natatapos. Okay? So, dapat kailangan matuto rin tayo mag-disagree sa kanya na okay, so you can do something like this. O kaya mo naman itong ma-achieve, di ba? Next, how to communicate with a corrective type of person. Okay? Be thorough. Dapat thorough. Kasi corrective siya. Okay? How to convince? How? Okay? Use the word how. Okay? How? Kasi nga, mostly yung nangyayari kasi, okay, sa pagiging corrective niya, so ang dami niyang details na nakikita. Okay? Pero ang nangyayari sa kanya, okay, sabihin mo sa kanya, how are we going to achieve this? Okay? So, magtatrabaho na yan. Okay? Siya na yung magpaplano ng lahat ng yan. How to motivate them? Okay? Same dun sa D, pero ang difference niya, quality ang gusto ni corrective. And then, need niya ng goals. Okay? So, corrective. Motivate them by putting goals. Ano ba yung mga goals na pwede natin ma-achieve dyan sa project na yan? And then, maganda ba yung kalalabasan ng ating gagawing project na yan o training na yan? Okay? Kasi quality gusto niya. How to disagree? Focus on the facts. Okay? Kasi sometimes yung too detailed kasi siya. Okay? Disagree ka sometimes yung facts kasi parang overload na, information overload na minsan. Ano? So sabihin mo sa kanya, wait, stop na muna. Okay? So masyado ng overload yung information na binibigay mo. Okay? So sometimes yung facts na binibigay niya, ang dami talaga. Kasi ba, mahilig kasi itong mag-research, magbasa ng magbasa. Kasi nga corrective siya. Ayaw niya nung kino-correct siya. Okay? Ayan. Develop a positive attitude. Okay? Develop a positive attitude. Paano nga ba? Okay? Ano nga ba yung strength ni D? Again, decisive, determined, efficient, practical, independent. So tandaan niyo si D, yan yung kanyang positive attitude. O, nire-review ko lang po kayo, ha? Tingnan nyo yung sarili nyo, meron ba kayo niyang ganyang manner or ginagawa nyo po ba yung mga strength na yan? So, kung meron kayo ng strength na yan, so you are under D. Pero yung weaknesses mo, or weakness mo, tingnan mo din. Masyado ka bang dominating sa isang relationship ba? Masyado kang dominant, harsh, masyado ka bang pushy, severe, and tough? So baka yan, meron ka niyan. So, meaning to say, yung D, yung strength niya ito, yung weakness niya, baka meron ka niyan. So if you belong to this type of style or type of person, so maybe you need to learn how to cope up with I, S, and C. Okay? How about I? Ano naman yung strength niya? Dramatic. Enthusiastic. Masyadong kasiyahin. Ano? Tapos masyado siyang mahabagin. So hindi rin pwede sa kanya pag influential kasi hindi siya siya yung actually makikita mo agad sa mga telenovela, yung iyakin. So masyado madrama ang buhay. Next, outgoing, personable, and stimulating. So actually, madali mo siyang ma-encourage. Bakit? Napaka-influential kasi. He or she always influence people. So doon kasi siya magaling. Okay? Ano naman yung weakness niya? Egotistical, excitable, manipulative, reacting, and talkative. So masyadong, actually ito yung part na talagang minsan makikita mo sa, kahit nakikipag-usap kayo, ito yung mga part na minsan nag-a-appear na agad. Or before ka pa, halimbawa, pumunta sa isang session or isang gathering, makikita mo na agad tong weaknesses na to Okay? Ng I. How about S? Okay, so ano naman yung strength ni S? Okay, si S or si Steady, ang strength niya, agreeable. Ayan, always agree. Okay? Dependable, lagi nakadepende sa ibang tao. Reliable, supportive, and willing. So si Steady actually, sa 4 types ng personality, I think, dito yung mga tao, marami kang mapapansin na S-type. Kasi sila yung talagang makikita mo na na laging sa isang gathering, sila yung actually tahimik lang sa isang part ng isang session. Okay? Very observant. Okay? Kasi they always support people. Okay? And then willing lagi sila na to give time, effort. Ayan. Okay? Weakness. Anong weakness naman niya? Awkward. Conforming. Dependent, parang opposite siya nung nasa taas, no? Retiring or shy, very shy sila. And then slow. Kasi nga, gusto niya one at a time. Okay? One at a time lang dapat yung trabaho. Hindi mo siya pwedeng bigyan ng maraming trabaho. Okay? Next. Sa C-type, ano yung strength niya? Industrious, orderly, persistent, serious, and thorough. Okay, mostly sila yung mga tao na talagang nakikita mo na aral ng aral, basa ng basa, ayan, research ng research. So sila yung mga tao na gano'n kasi gustong-gusto nila yung mga bagay na halimbawa, binigyan mo sila ng task, they will accomplish this task in orderly and yun nga, yung quality dapat magandang-maganda. Tapos napaka-serious itong mga tao na to. Okay? And then, they really work hard. Okay? So ito maganda sa corrective. Okay? Ang weakness niya naman, napaka-critical nila, decisive, moralistic, picky, and stabby. So, medyo mapapansin natin doon sa mga personality type. Okay? Ito si C. Okay? So, makikita mo ang laki ng difference niya sa I at saka sa S. Pero halos nagkakalapit din sila ng D. Okay? So, actually, itong D and C, mostly madaming mga personality type na ganito na hirap mag-adjust kay I at saka kay S. Okay? Sa totoo lang, actually, nung nasa training ako nitong presentation na to, nasa training ako nitong gantong klaseng setup. Okay? Nung narrate and inaral ko yung sarili ko, nagpo-fall ako under C and then D. Ayan, yung dalawang yan. And then later on, nung nag-process uli ako, napunta naman ako sa D and C. So I mean to say, meron tayong personality type kasi or style na dalawa po yung talaga, magkasunod talaga. Minsan iba, yung may iba akong kasama dito na nag-undergo nito. Meron 3. May nag-exist sa kanila na yung isa na mataas, tapos yung dalawa parehas. So I mean to say, meron tayong personality type or style na talagang possible, nasa atin yan nasa init na natin yan. Yun nga lang, we need to develop it. And then we need to use this wisely. Okay, versatility steps to meet their needs. So, steps in high D style. So, ano nga ba ito? Okay, so sabi dito, be less controlling. So, wag kang masyadong, ko-control ng mga pangyayari. Para lang po, makapag-adjust tayo sa ibang tao. Okay? Be less controlling. Especially in a situation, in a gathering, or example, may meeting kayo. Okay? Be less controlling. Be supportive. Okay? So, sometimes itong mga dominant kasi, ayaw nilang sumuport sa isang programs or project. Okay? Or may meetings, napaka nila, ayaw nila mag-support kasi dominante sila. Gusto nila nasa number 1 agad lagi sila. Nasa top agad sila. So, let's try to learn to support others. Okay? Be supportive naman tayo. Then be patient. Okay? Kasi kumbaga parang wait naman natin kung anong mangyayari muna, di ba? Kumbaga parang may isang situation, okay? So dahil nga impatient siya, okay? So be patient, kalma lang minsan. Kalma lang minsan. Okay? Next, be warmer and more open. Ito mga dominant na to kasi sila yung mga tahimik. Okay? Ayaw nito mag-open, okay, sa ibang tao. Kahit na may problema to or may mga situation to na na-encounter, ayaw po nilang i-share yung nararamdaman nila. So let's try to be warmer and more open to people. Baka makatulong din yung ibang tao sa atin, sa mga dominant. Okay, be willing to submit. So dahil nga nangyari gusto niya parang bossy type siya sa lahat ng nangyari. Siya yung nagko-control ng lahat. Okay, so masyado lang nagiging superior yung yung style niya sa ibang tao. So let's try to learn. Okay, yung submitting, okay, kalma muna ako and then let's learn. Okay? And then kung okay naman, okay, submit yourself na, okay, I support the project or the meeting, mag-support ka naman, okay? Okay? Encourage others. Okay? So you learn to encourage others. So baka yung ibang mga nakapaligid sa iyo, may mga talents din yan, may mga skills din yan, potentials na pwedeng ma-develop, hindi pwedeng ikaw lang ng ikaw. You encourage them, you teach them, okay? You guide them, okay? Dahil nga yung pagiging dominante mo, baka makatulong sa paraan na you encourage others. Okay? Evaluate risk. Okay? Sometimes very risky kasi yung ginagawa ni D. So you try to evaluate things muna kung very risky ba yung mangyayari do sa gagawin mo or not. Okay? And then explain why. Why are you going to do this thing? Ba't ka nag-initiate ng ganitong bagay? Explain mo rin sa mga tao na nakapaligid sa iyo. Okay? Then focus more on people. Wag sa sarili mo. Okay? Wag puro ikaw. Then listen more. Okay ba? It really helps you na lalo pang mag-improve, mag-excel sa ginagawa mo if you're going to listen to others. Okay? Baka mamaya may mga suggestions and opinion yung others na makakatulong naman sa inyo ng malaki. Okay? Next, steps in high style. Ano naman yung versatility steps? Okay? Be less impulsive. Okay? Be more realistic sa mga ginagawa mo. Then, control your emotions. Okay? So, wag laging, dahil nga, bawa mahina sa emotion kasi si I. So, control mo. Wag yung nagkwentuhan ka lang, iyak isang buong araw. Hindi mo naman problema, iniyakan mo. Okay? Evaluate your activities. Baka mamaya, nag-overlap na yung mga tasks na ipapasa mo. So, try to evaluate activities. Focus on details and facts, which is sometimes, nangyayari. So, too much talk. So, nawawala na yung details, nawawala na yung facts na very important. Focus on results. So, that's why, okay, mahina siya sa pagpapasa sa deadline. So, focus on results. Follow through. So, kailangan matuto ka sa sarili mo. Okay, so ito yung date. Dito ko dapat siya matapos. Learn that. Listen more. Ayan. Dahil nga, sobrang talkative mo, sometimes hindi ka na nakikinig sa ibang tao. Talk less. Then slow down. Dahan-dahan. Okay? So wag yung nakita mo lang yung friends mo hanggang kinabukasan nagkukwentuhan pa rin kayo. Hanggang sa chat nagkukwentuhan pa rin kayo, di ba? And then use self-control. Okay? So kontrolin mo minsan yung sarili mo. Hindi porket nakita mo na siya, okay? Makikipagkwentuhan ka agad. So self-control muna. Okay? Check mo muna yung sarili mo. Okay, stop muna. Okay? Next, style ni S. Be enthusiastic about ideas. Ayan. So pag may mga ideas, maging masaya ka naman doon. Okay? Be less sensitive kasi maramdamin ka. May huwag ganong sensitive sa mga nangyayari. So you try to learn that. Okay? Be more confident. Ayan. So dahil nga mahina siya mag-initiate or hindi niya kaya mag-initiate ng isang bagay, so kailangan yung pagiging yung confident naman sa sarili mo na you try to boost yourself naman. Yan. Be more decisive. Okay? Be more direct sa mga dapat mangyari. Hindi yung ang dami mong kinukwento or ang daming bagay na pumapasok sa isip mo. Dapat direct to the point ka naman. Be open to change. So, kung may change na mangyayari, accept it. Okay? Face confrontation. Okay? So, kung halimbawa may disagreement or may misunderstanding na nangyari, okay? So try to join them to realize what is happening, okay? And focus more on timely results, okay? Increase your pace and initiate more. Ayan. So ito yung kulang sa kanya talaga. Next, si C naman, be less fact-oriented. So dahil nga aral siya ng aral, more on facts siya. So sometimes too detailed na, overload information. So be less muna na ang pagbibigay ng facts. Okay? Be more flexible. So you need to adjust. Okay? Be less fearful. So dahil nga si corrective, lahat kasi alam, kasi aral siya ng aral kasi research ng research. So wala siya ganong takot minsan. So pag talagang nagsabi siya ng isang ideas, talagang well-supported yun ng research at ideas. Be more optimistic. Ayan. And be more spontaneous. Ito, nawawala talaga ito pag corrective. Develop relationships. So, ayan. Kasi si C, sometimes loner siya, wala siyang kasama. Okay? So, try to develop relationship and win friends. Focus on the positive. So, hindi yung lagi na lang nakasuggest ka, kasi pangit to, pangit to. Tingnan mo rin, baka mamaya ay magandang result na mangyayari dun sa ginagawa niyo. Respond more quickly. Okay? So, kasi nga, too detailed ka, too fast on information, overload. Sometimes may mga deadlines na dapat nagawa nyo na. Dahil sa dami ng research mo at information na nakuha mo, okay, hindi ka na nakakapag-respond ng mabilis. Okay? Take more risks. Okay? So, talagang may risk talaga sa bawat ginagawa. And trust your intuition. Ayan. Sabi nga dito, the change we want to see begins in us. Diba? Very important talaga. Okay? So, yun nga, yung ibang mga tao, diba, sinasabi nila, we want change. Okay? So, ngayon meron ng change na nangyayari. Okay? Let's start. Okay? Let's start na po. Okay? Hindi yung ikaw na alam, gusto mo ng change, pero hindi ka naman sumusupport sa change, di ba? And, let's change, ito nga, yung word na pwede ko iwan. Changing me, hindi yung puro me, into we. Ayan. Let's work together. Okay? So, for our department to build this strong relationship, para magkaroon ng direction, at para yung hindi tayo complain ng complain. Okay? So, although nakikita naman natin yung scenario, situations, okay? Yung me na sarili mo, okay? Kung may mga ideas ka dyan na makakatulong, okay? Share mo sa ibang tao. Okay? And this is very important for all of us. Bakit? There's something that is in you na magaling ka talaga dyan. You excel on that thing. Please share that ideas, strength, your wisdom. Share it. Okay? Malaking tulong po yan. Again, nagpapasalamat po ang buong EdTech sa inyo pong lahat sa support na binibigay niyo po sa amin. And we are looking forward na kayo po mismo yung maging agent of change. So, lagi yan dinidiscuss ng mga nag-start pa tayo mag-aral hanggang sa ngayon. We want change. Okay? So let's be the change that you want to see. Siyempre, so lagi tayo sa sarili natin nag-umpisa. And then let's influence others. Okay? In a positive way. Again, my name is Sherwin G. Lumeda. Thank you po sa inyong lahat. And God bless to all of us. Ayan.
All right, thank you, Sir Sherwin, for that refreshing talk about the different personalities and types of people. So we had a heavy topic, no, from the morning up to the first session in the afternoon, and I think it's a refreshing topic to have, you know, about these types of people that we have to know and consider.
Yes, and actually, we are also now gathering questions po from our audience, sa mga teachers. Pwede na po kayo mag-send ng inyong mga questions. And as you can see, nandiyan po sa baba yung ating link, tinyurl.com/edtechinsetquestions. So, Sir Sherwin, while we are gathering the questions, babalikan po namin kayo for some few announcements lang. The first one is the DepEd support. Ayan, so can we flash it po sa ating screen? Ayan. So, yung mga may problems and concerns po sa pag-login po and as well as sa PDLMS natin, you can send your email po dyan po sa ating address na nakikita sa baba. That is detedusupport@intelimina.com.
So sa mga may concern po at sa mga problems with their accounts, you can send an email to this email address that you can find on your screen. Kasi marami pa, Sir Jeff, no, ang hindi pa nakaka-access because mainly ang problems ay sa password or yung mismo email address na gagamitin to access the LMS.
Yes, so yung iba, we receive some messages po na wala kasi silang getting email or yun nga yung mga nakalimutan yung mga password. So yan po, pwede po kayong mag-send ng email dyan para ma-assist po kayo. Then, you know what, teacher, may napakaganda ng topic natin, no? Kasi parang etong INSET natin, 3 days pa lang, ang dami na natin natatap dun sa mga buhay talaga ng mga teachers natin. So, syempre, nag-focus tayo sa educational technology, nag-focus tayo sa video editing, then ngayon naman, we focus on the side ng mga teachers na parang hindi na natin masyado napapansin kasi nga, di ba, ang dami-dami natin mga paperworks na ginagawa nitong mga nakaraan. So, gusto ko yung isa sa mga sinabi ni Sir Sherwin na instead of me, we can use we, di ba? Yes. Baliktarin natin yung letter M, gawin natin W kasi nga, as much as possible, lagi po natin tatandaan, yung teaching kasi, this is a profession na from time to time talagang nag-improve.
Yes, saka sir, yung pag-change lang ng pronoun, no, sa mga English teacher, no, yung pag-change lang ng pronoun yun makes a lot of difference kasi it makes it more collaborative, it makes it more community-based. Kasi ang pagiging teacher lang naman ay hindi yan very parang hindi lang yan one-man island, no? Dapat talaga, you have friends. Kasi nga, stressful ang work, diba? You have people to confide with. And then, you have this emotional support kasi kailangan natin yan.
Yes. Kaya naman, di ba, napapansin natin yung mga teachers, may mga posts na parang, like, for example, nung Valentine's, instead of giving daw ng mga flowers, ang gusto niya matanggap printer at saka ink. Diba?
Kaya parang Sir Jeff, no, parang sinasuggest din na magkaroon tayo ng topic about parang troubleshooting printers, no?
Opo. Actually, napag-usapan na rin yan sa group and siguro tomorrow or Friday, dadaanan po natin yung kung paano yung i-reset yung mga printer na yan kasi parang joke nila tayo, di ba?
Pero isang patunay lang po na talagang nakikinig kami sa mga suggestion ng mga...
Isang patunay po yan na palapatoy po kami dito. Kaya papatulan natin yan, naagad pa natin yung pag-reset ng mga printer. Kasi, in reality naman, 500 pesos yata ang pagre-reset ng printer. Ako na lang ang nagre-reset ng printer ko. Kasi mas madali lang naman po siyang gawin. Hindi naman siya mag-consume ng masyadong time. Ang medyo challenging lang yung paglalagay ng printer.
So, kailangan na hindi tumatapon. Pero nakikita natin na kahit simpleng bagay, kahit yung troubleshooting lang ng printer, kailangan ng mga teachers. So, abangan natin yung ating part or presentation para sa mga printer natin. Kaya mga sir, di ba, meron tayong jokingly, we call teachers as print liners.
Yes,
no?
print liners. So, siguro, hindi natin alam kung ano pa pong brand yung iyan natin. Kaya yung nag-joke po sa amin, paki-specify po yung brand. Kayo na po yung mag-survey, kami na po yung magtuturo.
Yes, kasi maraming brand ng printers.
Oo, may Epson, may Canon, may Brother, ewan ko lang kung may sister, father, mother, brother, hindi pa tayo sure.
So, help us po kung anong mga brand ng printers yung gusto nyo malaman na troubleshoot. Pero, ayan, tutulungan po kayo ng ETU. Okay, so habang naghihintay ko po ng questions, okay, meron na po sabi ng aming technical director. So, let's have the first question na po. Let's flash on the screen. So, the first question is from, I think it's a Miss Odell R. Reyes from Tipas Elementary School, Maine, SD Otadi City and Pateros. So, Tapat. Okay, hello ma'am. What is the best way to handle negative people?
Okay. Well, okay, so actually ma'am, itong question mo ma'am, pang general kasi is so hard to answer ma'am. Kasi again ma'am, yung tinuro ko po sa inyo, okay, kasi there are lots of situations na possible po na iba-iba po tayo ng circumstances na experience. Pero again, yung tinuro ko po sa inyo are ways on how to cope up with people and how to meet their needs. Kung halimbawa po, na doon po tayo sa isang style Okay, kung halimbawa nakita mo naman itong tao na sinasabi niya na negative people, marami naman actually sa paligid natin yan, hindi naman nawawala yan. Okay? So, ang best way lang po ma'am is to learn this kung nasan ba sila sa D, I ba sila, sa S ba sila, o sa C. And then you try to change those weaknesses na meron sila into positive one. Huwag nating patulan yung mga bagay na alam natin na hindi makakabuti para sa atin. At lalo na sa isang organization. Kaya po tinuro ko po sa inyo to. Actually, na-experience ko kasi to, na may mga gantong circumstances talaga tayo na-encounter po. Many of us, hindi lang po sa departamento natin, pati po sa community natin, sa surroundings natin, marami po tayong ma-experience sa ganito. Pero again, ma'am, ang tanging suggestion ko lang po is aralin nyo lang po itong DISC, mga laking puntulong nito, para po at least kung negative talaga yung tao na yan, matulungan mo rin siya na yung negative attitude niya is ma-convert mo into a positive attitude. So yun lang po yung pwede ko pong sabihin sa iyo, ma'am. Hindi ko pa alam yung situation mo po, ma'am. Pero malaking pong tulong kung malaman mo kung saan po ba siya. Sa D ba po siya? Sa I ba po siya? Sa S? Sa C? After po nun, ma'am, matutulungan mo rin po kasi siya na yung negative attitude niya ma-turn into a positive. So yun po, ma'am.
Thank you, Sir Sherwin.
Ayan, well actually, maganda yun, no? The best way to handle negative people. Ang alam ko kasi sa Bible yan, teacher, may kakagay, parang bigyan mo daw ng bigyan ng pagkain. Oo. Pero depende sa motibo mo. Kung gusto mo maging dialysis patient, bigyan mo ng medicine. Hindi, joke lang. Huwag niyo po yung gagawin, no? Lagi po natin isipin yung kabubuti ng mga co-teachers natin, ng mga friends natin. Kasi hindi mo naman alam someday, di ba, yan yung mga tao na possible na tutulong sa'yo. Tsaka yung word kasi na negative sa panahon ngayon, karamihan sa atin gusto negative tayo kasi may COVID. Nakakatakot ng positive, di ba? Ayan, so next question po tayo. Kasi tanghali ngayon, kaya ginisingin ko kayo. Okay, so our next question is from, ayan, ang hirap tuloy bagitin ang pangalan. Joey Ron. Ayan, Joey Ron Lisocorin of Alegria Elementary School, Cebu Province. So the question is, what will be the best approach in correcting persons under dominant that are overconfident and insensitive when he or she committed mistake? Parang,
no? So yung tanong ay may pinanghuhugutan, no?
Yes, buti nilaglagay si Sir na
pangalan.
Okay, Sir Sherwin, pwede.
Okay, so actually, Sir Joyron, so actually, yun nga po, di ba po may, dun sa last part pa may nakita po kayo na versatility way. Di ba yung, how can you cope up? Halimbawa kung nasa, ka po, eto kasi sinasabi mo, dominante siya. So meron po akong tinuro doon na way on how to agree with this kind of person, di ba po? So paano mo ba siya, actually wag niyo pong basta-basta i-correct yung dominant type of person kasi nga po, magka-clash kayo. Okay? Kasi nga dominante siya, gusto niya siya yung halos nasusunod. So medyo mahirap po siya talagang i-correct. Okay? So di ba po may tinuro po ako sa inyo doon yung weakness na part po ni dominant type of person and how to change that weaknesses into a positive one. So ganun po talaga eh. Si dominant po talaga, hindi po talaga siya magpapatalo at magpapakorek po talaga sa inyo. Lalo na kung halimbawa po, sir, ikaw, nasan ka po ba dun sa apat na style? Ikaw po ba ay influential, steady, or corrective? Kung ikaw po ay corrective at na-encounter mo po yung dominant, 100% sure po ako na hindi po kayo magkakaintindihan. Unless po you try to learn kung ano ba po yung mga weakness side niya na maging strength niyo po. Okay? Mahirap po actually, dapat din hindi rin po tayo basta-basta nagko-correct kasi ng tao, lalong-lalo kung magiging personal po. So the only thing na pwede ko pong sabihin sa inyo is, yun nga po, kung nakapag-commit man siya ng mga gantong scenario, okay, ng mistake, and then ayaw niya pong mag-accept na talaga nagkamali siya. So you try to learn kung ano po ba yung mga scenario or situations na pwede pong possible way. Kasi sometimes when you are assessing people, kasi dapat hindi ka basta-basta nagiging yung sabi nga, don't judge the book by its cover. Baka po mangyari, may pinagdadaanan pala siya or na-encounter siya na experience na nag-trigger po sa kanya ng ganong bagay. So the only way lang po, mga ma'am and sir, is try to learn na paano ba kayo makakaroon ng win-win solution. So this strategy po kasi is very important in an organization or in a group of person or team na kailangan po after nyo po mag-meeting or mag-usap, dapat nag-win-win solution po kayo. So marami po tayong ma-encounter na ganyan. Pero again, let's try to learn win-win solution lang po. Okay? So yung hindi siya masasaktan at hindi ka rin po masasaktan. Okay? So again, we try to assess those people na talagang alam nyo po kung ganyan na po talaga yung personality niya. Kaya po binigay ko po sa inyo itong presentation na to. Because it really helps talaga a lot na talagang kung ikaw nadong ka sa isang style, makakapag-adjust ka po agad dun sa tatlong style pa po eh. Okay? So ganun po yung pinaka-suggestion ko lang po sa inyo. Again, huwag po tayong mag-away. Okay? And again, we do it professionally. Okay? Kumbaga parang lagi nating iisipin, ano ba yung magiging result ng action ko? Okay? Kung ginawa ko to sa kanya, kinorek ko siya, okay? Dominante siya, hindi po siya papatalo sa iyo. Huwag po magdala. Pero meron pong way. Okay? And the best way po is to do a win-win solution po. Yun po.
Thank you so much, Sir Sherwin. Parang naalala ko yung sabi ni Dale Carnegie dun sa book niya, Sir, no, na wala naman tayo makukuhang maganda if we criticize people. That's why we have to accept people as they are, no? Kung dominant man sila, kung kating personality type nila, no?
Yes.
Don't give harsh comments. Kasi you're making yourself correct, pero you're also tarnishing your reputation to the eyes of the eyes of the other people. Now let's have the third question. Okay, from Rich Andrew, no, mayaman. Rich Andrew M. Reyes from Bamba Elementary School. Wala ka.
Kakahawa na tayo dito.
Okay, so baka naman, sir.
Okay, so the question is,
what are the ways to promote unity in the workplace despite personality differences?
So, ways to promote unity in the workplace despite of personality difference. Simple lang po, Sir Rich. Kung halimbawa may gagawin po kayo isang bagay, kailangan po na pag-agrihan po ng lahat. Although you have differences sa personality niyo po, dapat po at least masettle niyo po ng maayos and then napag-agrihan po ng lahat. Yung smooth po, yung kumbaga parang no more, halimbawa, pag nag-meeting tayo, tulad po namin sa EdTech, pag nag-meeting po kami, hinihingi po namin yung bawat opinion ng isa't isa. We have different personality. Iba-iba po rin yung style namin sa pagmamanage po ng mga, example po, binigyan po ng mga project, iba-iba po yung experiences namin at iba-iba yung mga atake po na ginagawa namin. Pero at the end of the day, we do want to win each other na sabihin namin, okay, so okay tayo dito, hindi ma-hurt yung bawat isa sa atin, napag-agreehan natin, okay ba sa inyo to? So siguro doon po kayo mag-agree lahat sa isang bagay na magiging smooth po yung isang buong team. Kasi pag yung isang tao po, kung parang iba na yung personality niya, lalo na halimbawa po yung S, yung steady. Agree lang kasi siya ng agree, hindi mo alam yan eh. Basta lahat ng bagay i-agreehan niya. Baka mamaya may opinion siya, hindi mo nakuha yung opinion niya. At least dito po sa paraan na to, kumbaga bawat isa hiningan mo ng suggestion and opinion. Okay? So at least nakita mo sa kanila, ano ba yung ideas nila na makakatulong? Then ano ba yung gusto niyang i-share na nasa isip niya? Okay? So kumbaga you encourage them to agree in one thing. Okay? Wag yung pinagsalita mo siya, then ni-skip mo yung isa, then yung isa nagsalita, yung isa na naman ni-skip mo. Hindi po yung dapat gano'n. Kasi dito sa EdTech nga po, ginagawa po namin, lalo na pa nagpa-planning. So anong suggestion mo? Anong opinion mo about this? Yung makakatulong po as one team, we work towards success po ng buong team. At the same time, ng department po natin. Yun po.
Yes, actually tama po yung sinabi ni Sir Sherwin, no? And Teacher May, you know what? Ako kasi, as a student leader din before, ginagawa ko talaga is, number one, we have to appreciate. Number two, we have to recognize. And the next one is, we have to use the strength of each member of the team.
So why not thrive in the differences
yes,
of our
then, if ever, alam naman natin yung weakness sa mga kasama natin, that's the time that you have to empower them. Hindi mo yung dapat gamitin against them. Kasi lahat naman ng tao may mga weakness. Kaya kailangan i-balance natin. Kasi diba, hindi naman talaga tayo create ni Lord na pare-pareho tayo ng mga talents and skills. Because we are created for one another. Kailangan natin magtulungan.
Yes, that's a very insightful answer, sure. No, let's have the next question.
Okay. Our next question is from Ma'am Elizabeth G. Uwit of San Isidro Elementary School, Bohol. So the question is, how can we relate or handle an individual who has a mix of the 4 different personality types in the working environment?
Wow.
Okay. So, ganito po. Kung may mix ano siya na personality type. Okay. Tulad ko po ako kasi is ano ako eh. Corrected dominant kasi ako. Then sometimes nagiging dominant corrective ako. So, I mean kasi mahina po ako dun sa INS. So, ako po ang ginagawa ko sa sarili ko po after learning these ideas and this concept. Nung natutunan ko po itong bagay na to, so ang ginawa ko po, hinanap ko po kung saan yung part na mahina po ako. And that is I and S. Yung pagiging influential ko, yung steady ko. May part po doon ng strength and weaknesses na talagang hindi ko po magawa. Okay? So dahil nga, most of the time, ako minsan nagiging dominant po ako sa pagdi-decide o kaya minsan sa mga project po, ayan, mga decision, nagiging dominante ako. Tas dahil nga aral din po ako ng aral, nagiging corrective din ako most of the time. So medyo ang nangyari po sa akin, nawala yung INS ko. So since napag-aralan na po natin itong different personality type and the versatility style on how to cope up with others, so malaking bagay po na sa sarili mo, i-assess mo muna po yung sarili mo and then try to look saan ka po ba mahina. Okay? Ano po ba yung personality style mo na wala sa iyo? Kasi bakit po, yung may encounter mo ng mga tao, may mix po na personality type. And then, pwede po kayong mag-match. Example, na-encounter mo po siya, isa po siyang I, or influential person. So, pwede ka pong mag-adjust para sa kanya. Hindi ka po mahihirapang mag-adjust sa mga tao na na-encounter mo kung alam mo pong mag-adjust dun sa D, sa I, sa S, and sa C. And paano po makipag-usap sa kanila, hindi ka rin po mahihirapan. So the only way lang po is to learn. Alin po yung personality style mo or type mo na wala ka po. Para at least pag na-encounter mo sila, makakapag-adjust ka po. So yan lang po yung pwede ko pong isuggest sa inyo. Okay? So yun po.
Thank you, sir. Now we're down to our last question. And the 5th question is, from Ma'am Grazel B. Esperanza of Louisiana Central Elementary School. Okay, and the question is, how can we change or advise a person that is so controlling and dominant in a way that he or she cannot be offended?
So, Ma'am Grazel, so I think there's something wrong with the word po. So, mahirap yung change po kasi. Napakahirap pong i-change ng isang personality style or type of person. So I think what I can suggest, ma'am, and at yung bagay na makakatulong sa kanya is not change. Hindi mo po siya basta-basta ma-change. Help siguro, ma'am. You try to help him or her na sabihin mo sa kanya, sir, ma'am, okay, maybe there is something na kasi yung mga dominant po mahirap po silang ma-encounter based po sa experience ko. Mahirap po talaga silang kausapin, lalo pag dominante po sila. Sa isang bagay na okay, isang meeting po, pag na-encounter mo yung dominant na yan, parang siya yung parang bossy type or superior na nangyari na parang hindi ka na pwedeng mag-suggest. Okay? So medyo mahihirapan po tayo dyan sa change na yan. Hindi po natin siya pwedeng i-change. Okay? The only way is to appreciate this person. And then, etong shinare ko po sa inyo, siguro i-share nyo rin po sa kanya yung video na to. Share nyo po kaya sa kanila para at least po ma-assess din niya yung sarili niya kung nasan po siya. Kasi yung mga dominante po talaga, sa totoo lang po, ako po nung naging dominant ako during my early stage po sa pagtuturo, sobrang taas po ng pagiging dominante ko. And then nung na-encounter ko to, sabi ko, ay, nabangga ko na pala lahat sila. Okay, nakalimutan ko pala na may mga tao rin po pala na pwedeng tumulong po sa akin, na pwedeng mag-share ng ideas nila, opinions nila, suggestions nila, na pwede pong makatulong sa akin. So, yun po. So, try to share this video. Di ba? May team replay naman po tayo. Share nyo kaya sa kanila to para at least hindi po ikaw directly yung nagbigay ng advice. Kasi totoo po yan. Masakit magbigay ng advice at mahirap pong baguhin yung isang tao na ayaw pong magpabago. Sobrang hirap po niyan. Okay? So I hope nakaka-relate po kayo lahat sa akin. Napakahirap pong i-convince ng tao na ayaw po talagang magbago. At alam po natin dito sa profession natin, marami pong taong na ganyan po talaga na na-experience po natin. Okay, I've been working for 15 years in the department and na-encounter ko na po yung mga ganyang tao. Pero ako po, hindi ko po ginagawa na mag-advise na directly po kasi minsan masasaktan po siya, iiwasan ka po niya. Baka mangyari diyan, imbis na maging magkaibigan po kayo, is baka magkaroon pa po ng lamat yung samahan nyo. So the only way po para hindi po ikaw directly yung magbigay ng advice, pakita mo yung video na to. Sabi mo, encourage mo siya na manood po nitong video na to. Sabi mo, it will be a big help para sa iyo at para sa kanya. So at least hindi ka yung directly na nagbigay ng advice, di ba po? Sa akin nanggaling. Okay, doon sa presentation ko at doon sa mentor ko na si Sir Rich Paredes, okay, the chairman of Fire.net. Thank you po sa inyo uli. Ayan. So yun lang po yung masasabi ko, ma'am. Okay? Kasi yung pagbibigay po ng advice sometimes po baka makasama po talaga. Okay? Maaari pong makabuti at maaari din pong makasama. So kung hindi po ikaw directly yung magsasabi po ng advice, papanood mo lang po to sa kanya, share mo lang po. Okay? Baka makatulong po to sa kanya. So yun lang po. Thank you po sa mga question niyo po.
Yes po, no? You know what, in addition to that, Teacher May, ako share ko sa inyo lahat yung strategy ko sa ganyan. Kasi alam naman natin na sa field ng education, karamihan sa atin talaga dominante, no? Number one po kasi, kapag naka-encounter tayo ng ganitong tao, hindi ka mag-a-attempt na kausapin ng tao niyan kung wala siyang halaga sa'yo. So definitely yung halaga, root word, mahalaga, yan. So isingit lang natin, basta may push natin, mahal natin yung tao na yun, kaya natin yung gagawin. So kapag na-identify nyo na po na ginagawa nyo yan dahil mahal nyo yung tao na yun, next na kailangan po natin isipin is proper timing. Kailan ba natin siya pwedeng kausapin ng etong topic na to? Pangatlo, huwag po kayong magchat-chat na, may nalaman akong ganito, ganyan. Mag-usap tayo, magkita tayo. Kasi, dominante nga siya eh. Automatic, i-defend niya na yung sarili niya. Mag-build na siya ng wall sa paligid niya kasi nga alam niya na aatakihin mo siya.
Or so, mag-chat din, yung the way na binabasa mo kasi, yung internal voice, diba, yung inner voice, baka iba yung gusto mong sabihin sa way na nabasa niya yung message mo.
Opo. Diyan kasi pumapasok yung parang, ang nangyayari, yung tamang choice of words ang kailangan mo. Ano ba yung motibo mo? Bakit mo siya kakausapin? Kasi gusto mo na may ayusin kayo. Kaya instead na sabihin na, mag-usap tayo kasi ganito, ganyan ugali mo, sabihin mo, coffee tayo. Diba? So,
parang networking in that time.
Oo, parang mag-networking. Pero your main agenda talaga is kausapin siya kasi nga mahal mo yung tao. So, step up ang motibo mo, before kayo mag-usap, sabihin mo kagad, bakit tayo nandito, bakit tayo nagkakape? Because the main reason is, kailangan natin ayusin ko. Ngayon, kung magpapataasan lang tayo dalawa, hindi natin maayos. And better na, yung part ways na lang, baka hindi yun yung proper timing para gawin. Kasi lagi po natin tatandaan, talagang isa sa mga qualities na yata yan ng mga Pilipino, yung pagiging dominante. Yes. Lahat tayo meron yan. Lahat tayo.
Hindi nagpapatalo, sir.
Yes, hindi nagpapatalo, di ba? So, definitely, lagi po natin isipin yung mga teachers na dapat po kapag ginagawa natin yan, mas pairalin natin yung love sa isa't isa. Kasi kapag itong mga tao na to, na mga negative, or sinasabi natin na parang hindi ka gusto-gusto, ay hindi natin susubukan mahalin, paano pa yung ibang tao? Paano kung tayo yung nasa position na yung by that time? Kasi kapag nga na sinabi ng speaker natin, diba, change is the only constant thing in this world. E nagbabago tayo dahil sa panahon at dahil sa na-experience natin. Ayan.
Thank you so much, Sir Sherwin, for your insightful
and meaningful... na ako maging speaker.
Oo nga no? Thank you so much, Sir Sherwin, for your meaningful and exciting presentation for this afternoon. Nakaka-fresh, no?
Yes.
Sure, kasi puro technology and then we have something for personality development. So it marks that this INSET is a very holistic talk, no, for this week. And abangan pa po natin yung ibang talks na meron tayo on Thursday and on Friday. Dahil po, marami pang inihanda ang EPU para sa inyo, our dear teachers.
Yes, I think meron pang advices and tips, Sir Sherwin.
Siguro last na to, siguro sa ating mga teachers, siguro kailangan lang talaga tayo magkaroon ng open mind and open heart. Okay, so sa lahat ng gagawin natin, so always, alam natin meron na tayo nito. Pero sometimes we forget na meron din tayo nito. So, alam natin na mas mataas ito, mas mataas yung mind, yung brain natin kaysa sa heart. Pero yun nga, laging nananaig to. Pero we make things possible naman kasi nga tayong mga professionals very nakakapag-adjust po tayo sa mga bagay. And before ako mag-end, I would like to say thank you sa aming division. Okay lang po ba mga ma'am, sir? Sa SDO Muntinlupa, thank you po for the support po sa aming SDS, Dr. Dominico Idanan, sa mga supervisors po, sa aming principal from Tunasan Annex, Dr. Adorque Rubin, at sa aking principal before, si Dr. Antonio Rocha ng Muntinlupa National High School. Sa dati kong school na naging reason kung bakit malaki yung success na nakukuha ko ngayon, Kupang Elementary School, salamat po sa inyo. At sa mga teachers ng Muntinlupa at sa iba't ibang divisions and regions po, maraming pong salamat sa inyo. Our success is your success. God bless to all of us and thank you. Saludo po kami sa inyong lahat, mga teachers.
And thank you din po, Sir Shirley, for your presentation.
Yes, so kaya po mga teachers, get ready with your cell phones. We will be posting now the QR code for the evaluation of our speakers this afternoon. And habang nagpo-post tayo and nagpo-QR po kayo, nagsascan at naglalagin sa inyong mga laptops, automatic magkakaroon pa rin po tayo ng mga shout-outs. So we have 6 minutes, so simulan ko na po. First, good afternoon po kay Dr. James Roldan, DLE EPP Supervisor of DepEd NCR. Hello po, Sir James, and kamusta po? Then also, shoutout din po sa Division of Kawayan City, San Antonio Elementary School, to Ma'am Carol Bakiran, and also Labrador District Office headed by Dr. Maria Silvia M. Garcia and the school heads and teachers of Labrador.
Hello po sa mga teachers ng General T. De Leon National High School, Valenzuela City. Hello po sa mga teachers ng SDO Valenzuela. Hello din po sa mga teachers from Bulihan Integrated National High School in Sila, Cavite. Hello din po sa mga teachers from Palatin Elementary School, Division of Pasig City, headed by their principal, Ma'am Jean P. Manayan. At hello po kay Sir Ryan S. Tamayo ng Rizal High School, Pasig City.
Yes, and shout out din po from Sir Mark Anthony C. to SDO Tapat, Dr. Rhea Milana Cruz, Principal 4 of Western Bicutan National High School. Also to Alsate Village Teaching Force from SDO ng Picuan Annex Division of Nueva Ecija, Senior High School Coordinator of Talon-Talon National High School, Miss Mercedita B. Taron, and Galas Elementary School headed by the school principal, Ma'am Georgina G. Shelo, together with the school head teacher, Ma'am Judith G. Nieves, SDO Dipolog City, SDS of Virgilio P. Batan Jr. SDS also, Sir Virgilio P. Batan Jr. CESO 6 of Region 9.
Hello po sa mga teachers ng Bulihan Integrated National High School. Hello din po sa mga teachers from Mariano C. Anaca Memorial Elementary School, Amadeo Cavite from Sir Ranel Villanueva. Shout out po sa mga magandang teachers at retired but fresh teachers ng Balara High School sa Quezon City. Kahit retired na po, nanunood pa rin sila from Sir Peladio T. Victorino Jr. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Buti Senior High School ng Pasig City from Ma'am Regina Milana Cruz. At hello, shout out po sa mga sipag na teachers ng Pinagbuhatan High School from Sir Cornel Vincent Cruz.
Of course, shout out din po sa SDO Makati and all the TPS, especially Dr. Tenesa and SDS Ma'am Cecilia, and also Makati Science and Makati Elementary School po. Good afternoon po. Also, Tapal Elementary School faculty headed by the head teacher, Ma'am Baronesa G. Varga, Ma'am Michelle Sanenas, Ma'am Cheryl Ann Del Casillo, Ma'am Judith Reyes, Ma'am Marcelina Rebdos, Ma'am Cristina Colona, Ma'am Gretel Ababa, Ma'am Cindy Navarro, and Ma'am Ivy Payutas of Carcar City Division.
Hello po sa Senior High School Department ng Montilla National High School, SDO Sipalay City. Hello din po sa PSDS ng Montilla National High School na si Ma'am Myra Bigit at sa mga senior high school teachers na actively participating po sa ating virtual INSET.
Also sa kindergarten teachers of SDO Lipas City, special kinder teachers of East District, and kindergarten supervisor Dr. Maria Fe Bautista. Also to Enzo Nicolai T. Teves High School of Malabugas, Bayawan City, Negros Oriental. And belated happy birthday po kay Sir Arjon Bini Kaplampa from Mamumit Elementary School, SDO Calambas City.
Hello po sa ITO po ng SDO Puerto Princesa City na si Sir Richard Leo Condevilla. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Mualbual National High School, Mualbual District, Province of Cebu, headed by their principal, Candida C. Purgatorio, at lalong-lalo na po sa senior high school department nila na headed by Mr. Gregorio M. Malusa Jr. For the following teachers po, hello po, Ma'am Gisela Putan, Ma'am Cherry Ann Ruiz, Ma'am Edsel Ferolino, Mr. Jomari Perez, Miss Irish Calderon, Miss Irene Mendoza, Mrs. Almera Aro, Mrs. Charmaine Gomez, and Mr. Carlito Mahinan.
And also shout out po sa Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School, most especially sa TLE family headed by the head teacher Mr. Ferdinand Nequinto, Principal Dr. Santiago F. Pahilago Jr., District Supervisor Mr. Luis Hermina, EPS Dr. Cristina Talambayan, Sir Frederick Saide, and Sir Lamberto Perolina, ASDS Dr. Maritas Ibanez. Greetings from the teacher broadcaster Mark Anthony Paloma.
Hello po sa mga hardworking teachers ng Dr. G. De La Merced Memorial School from SDO Bulacan. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Cristobal S. Conducto Memorial Integrated National High School from Rizal, Laguna. Their principal is Dr. Laurita Arca. Hello po sa lahat dyan. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Lubsang Elementary School headed by their school principal, Madam Alisa De Vera.
And also shout out po sa mga napakahalagang tao na to. Of course, Ma'am Jasmine Papa, yung wife po ni Sir Mark Papa. I am teacher ng Indang National High School, SDO Cavite Province. Ganun din po sa aking asawa, Ma'am Lisa Sevilla of Las Piñas National High School.
Yes po. Sa mga nagtatanong po kung nagtatanong kung mag-asawa po kami ni Sir Jeff, hindi po ba ako mag-selos po mag-asawa ni Sir Jeff. Okay, hindi po kami mag-asawa, magkapares kami po ng apelido. Hello po sa mga teachers ng Carlos and Albert High School Division of Quezon City with their TLE head, Ma'am Justin K. Salazar, and principal po nila, Ma'am Minora Dawigan. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Santissima Cruz Elementary School, to their PSDS, Mr. Luis M. Hermina, school principal po nila si Ma'am Sharina S. Rasco, and to all teachers from Santa Rosa, Laguna. Hello daw po, love daw po kayo ni Ma'am Arlene Uy.
Also to SDO Caloocan, SDS Nerissa, Rosarias, and Jocelyn Alinyab, and sa lahat ng district supervisors, special mention kay Ma'am Cynthia Arellano, Doc Ivy Perez, ngayon din na po sa lahat ng APS, special mention sa supervisor na si Sir Alan Salom. Siyempre sa lahat ng mga punong guro, special mention sa napakabait, masipag at very supporting na principal na Mrs. Jocelyn A. Navarro, sa lahat ng teachers sa buong Caloocan, sa Morning Breeze Elementary School. So galing po yan sa inyong teacher broadcaster na kapag bumaling daw sa kanan ay kahawig ni Maa, kapag bumaling sa kaliwa ay kahawig daw ni Bella, at kapag front view naman daw ay kamukha ni Ivana. Walang iba kundi si Teacher Felisa. And also shout out po kay Ma'am Tonet Mantanong ng Parañaque National High School.
Okay, hello po sa mga teachers ng Casilian, Caluet, Punto Elementary Schools. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Gambol Second National High School at SDO Bulacan. At hello din po sa mga teachers ng SDO San Fernando, Pampanga Schools Division Superintendent Ma'am Imelda Makaspa, EPS Sir Ryan Sapao, Ma'am Lee Esguera, Principal Corp of Pampanga High School, Ma'am Edelberta Esguera, Head Teacher 4, Head Teacher 6 ng Pampanga High School, at Sir Carlo Villamores po. Hello din po sa mga teachers ng Luksuhin National High School, headed by their Principal 4, Ma'am Judy Landicho, Calatagan District PSDS, Ma'am Violeta Mira, SDO Batangas Province.
Yes, also shout out din po sa Bungamon National High School teachers of SDO Nueva Ecija, headed by Madam Celia M. Indusel. And magpo-posting po tayo ngayon ng mga teachers na nag-send ng mga selfies para sa kanilang mga shout-outs. So, ready na po ba natin ang ating mga pictures? Ayan. Ayan.
Nakakatuwa pong makita ang mga pictures nyo, mga ma'ams and sirs. So, keep your pictures coming. Dahil po, talagang pinagtsatsagaan po namin tingnan isa-isa, no? Hindi man po namin mabili lahat. Pero we're trying our best to get the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah. So, habang pinapanood natin, double time po tayo. So, we also would like to say thank you po dun sa mga teachers natin from Macalelon District, Quezon Province, teaching and non-teaching personnel. Happy Wednesday from Sir Ison Quindosa of Tagin Elementary School, Toong Integrated School, Cebu City Division, and 175 teachers of Guadalupe Elementary School, PSDS Dr. Emelita Tuason, Principal Mrs. Severina Yerin, and IBC Sir Sortones. Greetings from the kinder teachers. Mahipo Teaching Force under Ma'am Aurora Lavilla, Gapan North District, Ma'am Lucila Angelo with the leading principal, SEO Gapan City, SDS Alberto Saludes, SGOD Chief, Ma'am Asrida M. Bernabé, CID Chief, Ma'am Salome Pablo.
Yes po, hello sa mga teachers po from all departments ng Kaunlaran High School. Hello po sa mga department heads po nila. Ma'am Conchita Reyes of NAT, Ma'am Maria Welmos galing from English, Ma'am Josefina Del Rosario from ESP, Ma'am Praxides Dagante from Science, Ma'am Cristalita de la Cruz from AP, Ma'am Consolacion Antonio from Filipino, Ma'am Arlene Sampan from MAPE, and then Ma'am Desiree Alvarez from PFP. I would also like to bring KHS school staff, Ma'am Ellie Panlaki, Ma'am Donalisa Dungan, Sir Romel Estoya, Ma'am Claire Ann Vibar, Ma'am Corazon de Jesus, and definitely led by our hardworking and supportive principal, Dr. Cristina Castillo Mignac.
Also, the bagong silang high school, lalong-lalo na sa Filipino Department of Faculty Club, Dr. Maritza B. Feliciano, Principal, and Department Heads, Mrs. Mirna Pacheco, Mr. Jovenel Alcantara, Mrs. Rowena Armado, and Ma'am Bench Nugit. Also, we would like to thank you po yung mga teachers. So, good afternoon, watching from Indang East Elementary School, SDO Cavite. Then, shout out po sa Sumalig Elementary School Division of Zamboanga del Sur, Tambulig District 2.
Yes po. Hello din po sa mga officials ng SDO Labotas. Let me name all of them po. Thank you so much po for your support. OIC SDS, Sir Alejandro G. Ibanez. OIC ASDS, Ma'am Isabel S. Bayan. CID Chief, Ma'am Lloyda Obalasa. EPS Gemma G. Bernardo. EPS Sir Marco Meduranda. EPS Rico Citarectan. EPS Sir Russell P. Samson. EPS Alberto J. Bianco. EPS Ruth R. Reyes. EPS Ernifer Ocsiano. EPS Grace R. Neves, PSDS Lorena J. Mutas, PSDS Josephine N. Tobias, PSDS Esperanza M. Soledad, PSDS Presley P. Natividad, PSDS Eloisa S. Sanchez, PSDS Zenaida S. D. Simpson, PSDS Evangeline S. Trinidad, PSDS Jesus Ay Ikaw Na Po, and PSDS Esperanza M. Soledad. Thank you so much po.
Opo, and another shout out mula sa isa pang Sevilla from Ma'am Resalina Sevilla Nolia. So, shout out po sa mga Filipino teachers ng Parañaque National High School Mate. And sana po maka-receive din kami ng mga shout out galing po sa mga SDO Batanes, SDO Tawi-Tawi, yung mga lugar po na medyo malalayo. Ilapit po natin ng isa't isa, tayo po mga teachers ay magtulungan. And it's exactly 4:05, Teacher May. So yung iba po na hindi namin na-shout out, meron pa po tayong 2 araw. So kung hindi natin kakayanin, hindi na po talaga kaya natin i-offer ang Sabado na 10 araw na po shout out.
No. Gusto po namin na lahat i-shout out po ang lahat ng ating attendees or participants for our virtual INSET. Pero yun lang po ang aming makakaya. Pero we are extending our warmest thank you and gratitude for supporting us po. Day 3, gitna na tayo ng INSET, pero paalab ang suporta ng ating mga teachers. Kaya teachers, wag po tayo thank you. Hanggang day 4, day 5 po tayo.
Yes, so pipilitin po natin naman shout out lahat para ma-recognize lahat ng mga teachers kasi may nare-receive po kami na katulad niya, INSET ngayon, biyak bukas. So yun ma'am, ingat po and we are praying for your safe delivery po. Yan. And of course, sa lahat po ng mga teachers natin, lalo na yung mga nasa bundok ngayon, yung mga nasa malalayong lugar, mag-ingat po kayong lahat sa pag-uwi. Ingatan po natin ang isa't isa para po sa ating mga kabataan.
God bless po sa ating lahat. And this has been Ma'am Maria May and Sevilla from Coondaran High School as Lona Botas, one of your ethics specialists and one of your masters of ceremony.
And I am Sir John Jefferson Sevilla of Las Piñas National High School from the Schools Division Office of Las Piñas, one of your ethics specialists and one of your masters of ceremony. And this has been the 3rd day of the virtual INSET 2021.
Thank you so much, teacher. See ya.
As we face the command of rapid development and technological innovation in the world, the Philippines' preparedness in advancement of its physical facilities, infrastructure, and soft skills are given focus, especially with the empowerment of teachers' capacity and capability, not only in pedagogical aspects of teaching, but the confidence in delivering instruction with the use of information and communications technology. The Office of the Undersecretary for Administration, under the leadership of Yusek Alain Delby Pasqua, established the Educational Technology Unit under the Information and Communications Technology Service. Its prime function is to empower and capacitate public school teachers and learners as required by the global demand of the fast-paced development in technology. The task of the Educational Technology Unit is to promote and solidify the innovation and digitization projects that will support the requirements of the K-12 curriculum in delivering quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education for all. It targets different components and facets of skills development, which will enable the technological advancement of the infrastructure of DepEd. This is supplemented with empowerment training programs in emerging technologies for public school teachers. The programs of the EdTech unit target the emerging pedagogies focused on open educational resources, robotics and mechatronics, coding and programming, virtual reality and augmented reality in education, mobile application development, Internet of Things, and the productivity tools for learning, which includes Microsoft Office 365, Google Apps for Education, and the different Adobe software tools. In addition, the maneuver of in-house applications such as the DepEd Commons and the DepEd Learning Management System is under the flagship of the EdTech unit. The supervision of DepEd TV in ensuring world-class produced video lessons is another task of the office. Lastly, the conduct of free online tutorial session, coined with the term eTulay, is a bridging program to support learners and parents in answering the self-learning modules pioneered with the initiative of the ICTS EdTech unit. A teacher's influence is limitless, bound with the heart for service and dedication to fulfill the greatest mission to educate the young. The ICTS Educational Technology Unit will be there to promote, to empower, and to inspire Filipino teachers and learners as we grow as a tiger in the region, hitting our target as one of the best in educational technology. Come on and join us as we make our dreams into a reality. Sama-sama tayong lahat tungo sa iisang layunin. Simulan natin ang pagbabago dahil tayo ang mga gurong magtatayo ng makabagong DepEd. Sulong Edukalidad.